Welcome to the Pop-Up Research Station, where we explore temporary public art, creative placemaking, and cultural urban planning by having conversations with the artists and arts organizers who make it happen. We offer valuable insights and solutions for programming by presenting case studies from real-time projects that benefit the arts community. Our cafes serve as a data collection session, allowing for the review and application of findings in future projects, ultimately leading to improved outcomes. Thank you for joining us.
Preston Park and Brighton.
Last night, of course, they're gonna need to rent a a crane, and orchestrate all of that, for you because of the weight of it. They can't just use the truck that they have. So he's getting his hand, he's just getting in, just got hired, like on the 15th of September. And so he's getting his hands, jumping right in on this project. And Carl has to make sure he's touching base with him so that everything is lined up and ready to go. This is the 22nd. We had anticipated that concrete pour already.
Yep.
And then they're asking me, where do I want the second concrete? I really am concerned about the first concrete pour. I'm not trying to do next year, but they want to make sure if they have that contractor out and he's coming,
Right.
he's going to do
Yeah, I
all the work
understand,
at
right.
one time. So that's where we are. Christine, hey, thanks for joining us. I'm going to unmute you.
Oh, thank
I
you.
just did.
All right, thanks.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we're just jumped right in, and I'm glad both of you were here. Bill has a after school matters director. He's a meeting, so he has to get over, to his project, so he's not able to talk with us. But meeting with the team last night, the village manager and the director of public works. They were trying at first, why can't we stage all of this the same day instead of having people come back and forth? And I'm like, well, the artist gave the timeline months ago, a date that they're doing their installations. They're two separate types of installations. Of course, Peter's being almost 600 pounds of metal going in. He's the one that's going to need the crane. So they're going to lease it from a company so that there'll be one on site. And they were looking at other departments of neighboring public works, like Homewood and some of the other neighboring villages. They don't have it. So that's Peter. That's why they're going back and forth. We're trying to get you the crane because they're trying to look at the resources that they have. And now last night they made the decision, we'll just lease one and get it out there day up. And I'm like, yours is right off from the street in that location. They're not going to have to stage a lot, but they definitely need you, Christine. And I said, you always show up at your installation so you can give guidance for how, you.
Of course. Yeah, I think I need a crane too, because this sculpture is heavy. It has to be hoisted up 8 feet in the air.
You said last night that yours is under 200 pounds.
It's under 100, but
Under 100.
Who's going to lift it?
Not you. They're going to have their public works department employees out there.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I
So
think they have a forklift, so
I mean,
that would
something
work.
has to, I'm just imagining, Alpha, you know what I'm talking about. There are going to be these 2 trees, 3
Right.
feet apart.
Right.
And there's going to be this horizontal piece on top.
Right.
And before it goes up, Carl and I will be creating notches for it. But then hoisting it up there, is it going to be 2 ladders and 2 guys going up on the ladders, or what?
Well, I like for you to be on the call with the public works director.
Okay.
So that he can be, he's supervising what's going on. those are questions like when we had everybody on the call last night, and I was texting you.
Mhm.
Because they were asking me questions that I didn't have the answers to, because I'm
Okay.
not, I've just been getting updates from everyone and not, you know, we're here with what you need,
Right.
right? And last conversation we had, you asked for a bomb truck,
A
boom
boom
truck,
Boom
truck,
truck,
a boom
which
truck,
has a
right?
crane. It
Yes.
has a crane, yeah.
Okay.
but they
So
don't.
that's what they do have in their inventory.
They do have a boom truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then when you were
okay.
at the Mandela, you know that one truck that like a cherry picker that he got in and it lifted it up to take a photograph of the Mandela?
I didn't look closely. Was that a bucket truck or was it a boom truck?
It's a bucket truck.
Okay. Yeah, a bucket truck wouldn't do it. You can't just have this little bucket and one person hoisting this 100-pound thing, that wouldn't work. So, yeah, I would need a boom truck. Now, Peter, are you gonna have a boom truck or a crane? Or, I mean, a boom truck has a crane, but what are you gonna have exactly?
We're waiting for the city to decide. They're
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to
Well,
provide it and all of a sudden they don't have it.
Okay.
well, according to Carl, that it was that's what they had. When he looked at the
Right,
inventory, they don't have what you were asking for. That's
They don't
why
have.
last night they were talking about just renting a
Okay, got it.
right.
and that way they can have equipment that's really necessary. And they are like, well, how is Peter going to get it there? Well, he's taking it from his studio on a flatbed, you know, to bring it. On
Right.
site, they need to have that crane and everything, and they kind of work those things out. I really prefer you both work one-on-one with Mr. Lewis and giving him your needs, and what you vision. And I told him that you're, you know, familiar with and have experience with these types of installations because you're
And he's the
experts.
public works director?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've given
I,
him your contact information. I really
okay.
need the dialogue to happen, not third person, you know, second person hearsay. I said, they said, I want you to go directly to him so he can get a handle on what's needed and not always. Carl is in that position to coordinate things, but he needs he needs to report to the director. You guys need to report directly to Mr. Lewis.
Okay. So what I would like to do is I would like to email Mr. Lewis with a picture of the mock-up so he knows what I'm talking about. Should I also have Carl in on that email?
You can always CC him, yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I will write that down. And I think we have Mr. Lewis's email address because it was some chain, right?
Yeah, I introduced both of you to him
Right,
and asked
right.
you to communicate directly with him.
All
So
right,
no, nothing's missed in the translations.
okay,
Okay?
all right.
So we have a
I will,
successful load in and install, and what they need to do. And Peter, when you talk to them, impress upon them, you need that concrete in the ground ASAP.
Right.
no, the
Because
concrete's not there yet.
Nope.
Oh, there's time. There's time.
is it, how long do you need to have it cured? How long does it need to rest before you install that heavy piece on top of it?
Probably a week, but they're not gonna get it done. We'll just do
Impress
what we have
upon
to
him
do.
that you need that time.
Yeah, I'll tell them today.
And
Also
then, so it
getting,
was also like, we asked and I said, not gonna happen. It's two different installations. He just felt like, how come we can't stage all of this the same day? Why can't they both deliver the same day? Why are we working on, you know, having all that equipment out there when we could just do everything at once?
mhm.
And I said, that's not an option. Because we
Did,
want to have, pay attention to what your needs are and not have everybody stretched back and forth.
right. I would say that, I mean, I'm stating the obvious. You just don't know how long an installation is going to take.
Right.
So if mine were scheduled at 10 and Peter's at 11, I don't know if I'd be done at 11. So
No,
that's
right. That's why I went like, no, the delivery is the 29th, Monday.
Right.
And she said 10 o'clock, expected time of arrival, so have your
Yeah.
people in place and the machinery in place.
Yeah.
And Peter said October 1st, that's
Mhm.
our delivery,
Yeah.
you know, and we're not going to change it up because it's more convenient for you all. It's not going to be more convenient for you all because you have
Yeah.
two different types of things going on at the same time.
Mhm. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here, since something has to be done to those two logs before my sculpture is hoisted up there, you know, maybe whatever hoisting implement is going to be on the premises, maybe doesn't have to be there till, 10:30. But maybe I could talk to Carl about that.
Okay, talk to Lewis and
Yeah,
pecking order.
right,
Talk to the director about what you need.
right, exactly.
It's
I'm gonna do
okay.
that. I will
All
do
right.
that today. Yes.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
then, because at the end of the day, he makes the final decisions on what's what,
Yeah.
you know, and in that, I think they haven't had a director of public works in a minute. You know, I don't know how long, no one's been in that position. And Carl, of course, has 30 years. It works as a consultant for the village. And because of his background, everybody needs him like, of course, he's going to be there. But one of the things I couldn't answer was the diameter. How big were those? We measured the placement of that wood, but no one said how round.
Oh, yeah.
Each of those logs were.
One is 20 inches in diameter and the other is 12. And you can tell from the picture, one is it's a good sized diameter and the other one is more modest. So 20 and 12.
And they're how many feet apart?
3 feet.
I remember the 3 feet, but
Yeah.
I didn't remember the circumference. So, all right, so that's what we got, for both of you to kind of expedite things along. I really want you to get the call in to him, introduce yourself if you haven't already talked with him, and tell him what you need and you know what they have available.
Yeah.
They hired 2 new people. They got to train them, so.
I'll email him first and then, and again, it's really crucial. I send him the image and then ask him if he wants to have a conversation, which I'd be happy to have with him. But he should have the image in front of him when we're
When you
having
talk,
a conversation. Yeah.
and just plan on scheduling a conversation, not
Sure.
waiting around for it. 'Cause people get caught up in the day of running a
Yeah.
village and other stuff that's going on, but I'd rather for you to have direct dialogue and not wait around at this point.
Right.
We have a meeting scheduled. I just checked my emails with them tomorrow night with
Oh, okay.
updates and everything. You're welcome to join that meeting, but I prefer the conversation to happen like today.
Yeah.
So he has everything. And it was something going on with your phone. I guess, it was this number cannot be connected at this time or
Yeah,
something. And I called you several
yeah,
times.
sorry about that. That's my landline, which is no more, but that number has been transferred over to my cell phone. You can always use my cell phone number, which is the 563-3004 number.
Can you
So
give it to
sorry
me
about that.
312?
It is, no, 773-563-3004. And yeah, we're still working with AT&T about this. It's annoying.
Yeah, because I was like, let me call her because let
Yeah.
me get direct
Yeah, just-
communication. I don't be guessing. I don't want to say.
Yeah,
Carl was not on that call. He was not able to make it. His computer wasn't working where he would have had the answers to that.
Oh, okay.
So, then I'm like, let
Yeah.
me text her, see what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. No, sorry about that. Blame AT&T. So,
All right,
but that will
so,
be fixed.
so that's really the main thing with you two,
Mhm.
for, so Peter, you have any other things I'd like for you to call him to have a conversation with him directly?
No, I'll send him
No.
all the information and call him and see. We already talked about it last night, but he didn't listen.
Did you hear, you know, he didn't listen? You could tell.
Why wasn't he listening?
His mindset was somewhere else. I don't know what he was
Okay.
doing.
Yeah, because it was like, well, why can't we just do all of this at one time? And if he's bringing the sculptures on a flatbed, then how is he lifting it onto that flatbed from his studio? Can't he bring that equipment? No, you're supposed to have the equipment on site so that when the sculpture's delivered, all we have to do is heist it and load it on and do the install. And for yours, Peter, they have to go down that path more, and Christine's
Yeah.
is right off the road,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, like right there. It's not where you have to drive any equipment in, you know, onto the open
Right.
land. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys just from last night. And if you could communicate with him today, I could even put a call in to see if he's available to talk with both of us, or make sure maybe uh,
Sure,
conference
if you
call.
want to do that right now.
Yeah, let me see if he's back from lunch. If
All
he's
right.
back from lunch or not.
Peter, why don't you think the concrete will be installed in time?
They haven't even started.
Hey,
They're a week away.
yeah,
They won't work.
exactly.
I mean, so who knows?
Because you sent him everything on the 18th. I'm just looking at the communication's been going on. The concrete base, September 14th, you know, specifications and everything has been constantly sent over. Sorry, I'm looking for his number.
That's
I thought
okay.
I had it in my
773-483-8278.
what is it?
773-483-8278.
Thank you. When I typed it in, it should have came up, it didn't, so here we go.
Dr. Lewis.
Hi, Mr. Lewis, this is Miss Bruton.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm fine, I'm fine. You got a minute to chat?
Actually, we just got into this meeting, and I'll be breaking in about another 40 minutes, but I can call you right after I come out of here in 40 minutes.
40 minutes? Okay, I'm in a meeting with the artist and we wanted to make sure that we got details straight.
Okay, you can get them on the phone when we get on the line, because I'm gonna have about 30 minutes before my next meeting at 2:30.
2:30, okay, that'll be fine. We'll plan for 2:30.
Okay.
All right, thanks so much.
Call me if I don't call you.
For sure, for sure, all right. All right, he's going into a meeting right now, literally. And then in 40 minutes, we can call and do I don't want you to stand around. You can check back in 40 minutes and we'll just have a conference call.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
All
you
right.
have other stuff to do. You've already kind of checked in. The only
Yeah.
other thing we were gonna deal with, and Marilyn hasn't jumped on the line yet, is the catering. and
Mhm.
getting, I'm taking your advice, and getting the, um, a text invite
Mm-hmm.
to go out. I just needed to get the wording on everything so that it wasn't, they've been going back and forth with me for 3 weeks about the wording on the flyer and on everything, and then who the point person should be to receive a RSVP and those kind of things. So I'm gonna send you, finally got everything, the language corrected, what they want sent out. So I'll send it to you if you want to invite your own audience and people to come.
Yes. And I had a question about that because Peter and I know a lot of sculptors.
Mhm.
We could have 100 people there. What is the limit? And Peter, how many people do you think? You have no idea? Are you going to
No, I
invite
don't think
people?
anybody's gonna drive down there, so.
Oh, okay. I was going to invite some people I know, especially those whose faraway openings I have gone to. So, I don't know how many people will.
Well, the only
Is there
thing
a
that I'm
limit?
doing is planning for, I got a baseline number of 50.
50,
They don't
okay.
usually get, you saw when you came out, a crowd of people coming to open land because people don't want to be out open land, open
Mhm.
land. But we're just preparing for 50, and it's appetizers, it's not food. You know what I mean? So they want to, with the other flyer they came up with, they wanted
Mhm.
to make sure to, we don't limit the count to 50, but we're just
Uh-huh.
prepping for 50 in terms of hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and stuff like that. Um, you know, so just send it out, and whoever responds, that would be great.
Yeah. And is there alcohol? I just want to
There's
tell
going to be a
people.
bar. There's going to be a bar. One of the things is the village cannot purchase alcohol. So
Okay.
we have JD Events is bringing a bar, and just serving everything in take to go cups.
And is it a cash bar?
No, it's not a cash bar. It's a
Okay, well, you
bar.
said Hazel Crest is not paying for it.
Well, we are on project
Oh,
management.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, they can't. The village can't do it, but we
I
can.
understand.
And so I have a bar coming, portable bar coming, and they'll be doing a punch and some mixology type
All
drinks.
right.
And if we want wine, we need to, see. I wanted to, at each of your locations, kind of have it set up as separate receptions. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So to honor both of you with the table, and we have a trio based on Peter's suggestion from the music school. So music will be going on in your area with the guests that you're inviting,
Mhm.
and then also down at Peter's.
Mhm.
And then so the thing that kind of like the wrench that got thrown into to the conversation was they're bringing a DJ out there, and because they need the sound system while people are
Yeah.
talking. And so after the reception during the tree planting, then that's when the DJ and that music will be on. But we really were adamant about having live musicians, those
Mhm.
trios that we talked about in each of your spaces. Now, how do you feel about that? Either
Whatever
since you
you
made
guys
the
want, I
suggestion,
don't
Peter,
care, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
as long as they had a concrete in the ground and you got a sculpture to dedicate,
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
fine.
you care about at this moment. But
It's fine.
yeah, we're planning around the suggestion that you made months ago about it would be good to have, because you're way further in than Christine
Right,
like that. So so
whatever.
that's hmm,
Whatever you want, I
Yeah,
don't
Peter
care.
doesn't care.
okay. Yeah, he just wants the concrete in the ground and ready to go by the time he gets out there and stuff. All right, so we'll if you want to, I don't know, jump back in at 2:30 or something, go ahead and do, because that'll be an hour of just and
Okay.
Marilyn hasn't jumped on yet, so I was gonna call, hey, we need to get this
Okay,
stuff organized, but not
Okay.
later, and have you all on. And I will actually send Mr. We could do a conference call, or I'll send him the link to jump on with us.
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna send
And-
them all my information now.
Okay.
and I'm
thanks.
gonna do that too, and maybe he can look at our emails during the meeting or whatever. So I'm gonna send him everything now, the image, et cetera, so he knows what we're talking about.
Okay, great.
All
Thanks
right,
so much.
good.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
see ya.
All
All
right.
right, bye.
Bye.
I know,
Okay.
but we're not recording. Okay, we're recording. Go for it. Start
Okay,
over.
great. And you can help me with this as well, because this is a walk audit toolkit worksheet. And I borrowed this tool from AARP along with their placemaking. And when I was in Sacramento, California, we gave, during the Capital Region Creative Corps project, we gave some of the artists, and their constituents these maps so they can go out and, kind of capture from a bird eye view of the area, how to walk through it. And it's a simple map showing location in the space. We'll label the streets right here. The only street we're going to label is homes when people come down. I'm going to try something. I have two maps here because Christine has an area that we need to get to. But this area is going back to where Peter's installation is, which is on a mound back here. And I'm going to add his photo of his sculpture in this area, and then here is where I'm going to have to figure out where these tables are going to go. There is a cove area right here as well, a seating area right here. It's right, it'll be right across from like where Peter's space is. And this could be, it's a natural sitting space where they carved out a chair, a stump, for a stool sitting, as you're coming down the path. So we're going to probably do something here. I brought these, and I'll show what I brought, these yard signs that we're going to place here. That's part of, instead of, they said they didn't want, it's on foam board. I just ordered it from Vistaprint, but it'll be in the ground here in front of the sculpture. And that's what I got. And then we're going to have like the 9. So this area, I was thinking more like a table for Peter's, guest and reception area. That's my writing. It's not a round table. It'll probably be one of the long tables out here. Still to figure that out. I would have wanted Marilyn to talk about that. Or a tent right here. This could be like, I'm gonna put this triangle as a tent in that area to be over that reception table. So. You ever use this tool? I know there's something fancier, and I'll probably, once I do a
Not.
layout,
I have not.
once I finish this layout, I'm gonna go in and actually put in the, there's a program you can actually put in, like, right, let me try that right now. Let's see. Inserts. Image. Oops, I don't want to turn it. I just want to move it actually. So his piece would go up here in this corner. If I could shrink it down. Let's see here. Can you see this, or I'm still just working?
Yes. Yes.
So he's up there. Now it's too small. Okay, there we go. So, you know, this got to be a little smaller. But it's right there. So when we walk down, it'll be kind of in that space right there. This right here will get an image of a tent for over here. And then I'm going to pull up the image of their, I'm going to place an image of their, that walkway coming up. And I went through like sorting all these files to make sure that, you know, that we, oops, where's my files? All right, so I did all this sorting, and now I can't find what I need. All right, so we'll come back to that. I was gonna find an image and right here of the gathering space coming up and putting it right there. Someone that knows what they're doing could probably do this really quickly. But this is my first attempt.
Yeah,
at doing
that looks like a reasonable tool.
Mhm.
I
So
would,
anyway, his project will be installed right about there. And I'm not gonna, they asked me something like how many feet away. I can't answer those things for you. So I think this is going down. They were gonna measure how many, you know, between 9 tables. So now I'm gonna have to figure out the tables and where those tables are gonna go. And so I can go over here. And I can actually convert, might be easier for me to convert this into just a Word document so I can manipulate like the circles and, you know, lines and the triangles for tents and clean it up. But right now, I think this is my draft working with it. Ooh, I can't show. So, okay, go on down. So over here, I think that this is homes, but I would think that the line would be, this is kind of shortening things. So this area right here may need to be like on this part. Because if I'm coming down, Marilyn said that she's at the hospital or something with her daughter.
wait, what?
But she texted me right now. She was at the doctor's office with her daughter.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. All right, let's see here. Oh, so do you think just because of the layout of space that we're gonna have to walk down there? I think it should be 2 sections because I don't think I could fit everything in on that one section. So anyway, I guess, we're just staring at me working my, let's see, let me try use design tools. What's that about?
Yes, I have to go run an errand if that is possible.
Today?
At the moment, yes, hang on.
Okay, so today I'm gonna work on the map. This map I got from my toolkit from AARP, and it's a walkability map. And I'm looking at how to set up a walking the floor plans for the opening gala and placement of things as we come into the open land, um, and where we can place the DJ, where we can place the tables. And this right here is the entryway to homes. So I'm placing these things here. And then the other element, which is over here, is where Christine's sculpture is going to be. And up here, I'm going to take the map and draw, the pavement, but it matches in the where Peter's installation is going to be. And this area right here is a sitting area that Carl Persons and Marilyn have designed. And it's a natural space to just sit and, I don't know, contemplate, rest. And then you have the sculpture that's kind of across the way. Of course, there's a tree here and then a cove. And we're looking at work to set up the high boys and the tables for the reception. But right now I'm just placing the images along the pathway, so that when we sit down and talk about the floor plan and placement of tables and chairs, everyone will have the map, where things will be placed. But this is my first time working with this program and trying to think about placement of items. And so bear with me. So this is more of a TA where I'm taking myself through the setup of the mapping of the space.
You're trying to adapt its whole address. So, yeah, I'll check on there's that in the process. They should have it. Did in March of this year, for catering. Yeah. We have 15 minutes. Wanna try to jump on, you want me to jump on this Zoom?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Or do you wanna just give me on?
No, I tried that and she didn't answer. I tried that and she didn't answer the call.
I got a couple of slots for 5 minutes.
Well, let's just do it today while you're here.
Some time.
Let's do it. I had you on mute. I'm so sorry. I was answering your question. Since I got you on, can you jump on the Zoom and then that way, Peter, I'll text Peter and Christine to jump back on. Since I told them 2:30.
I mean, I could jump on real quick, but I'm gonna be jumping out of here. I gotta drive over to this next site.
That's fine. So is it easier for, because you could do it on your phone, no?
No, I can't. I can't jump. I can't drive.
Oh, okay. Let's try that, and then that way I can text and let them know that you're on the line now.
Did you send me the Zoom link?
Yeah, I did. I sent it to you. I sent it to you in a text message.
Oh, let me tell it to myself. I don't have a computer. I thought you had sent it to my email. All right. Okay.
Okay.
So Alpha, while he's also preparing there, I mentioned another lady, and she's gonna check into it. She's not in the city now, but she will be later this evening.
Okay. I'm trying to get them back on the phone, trying to coordinate this.
Mm-hmm.
Peter. Cause I told him 2:30 and he said, oh, no, no, no. He had time, 2:30 is his next meeting. Communication. Where's Peter at? Yeah, I talked to the other caterer as well this morning, and I wanted to go over that with you. But,
Okay,
that they don't have what I was looking for, but I was looking at some of the menu choices. But they don't have that license. We want to make sure we just have someone there with the license.
okay, okay. And now with the alcohol, because I did ask my daughter about that, she said no, she would not be able to do anything with that in terms
Okay,
of
that's fine.
representing.
Yeah, that's fine. I just figured, I would make sure we asked and looked around in case, but I don't see that being a problem because Mr. Sawyer didn't say it was a problem. He just said the village can't buy alcohol, pay for it.
Mhm. So will that mean that we're not gonna omit that though, are we?
No, no, no. He's gonna take it off from flyers and stuff, but we
Right,
have that bar, that'll be there.
right. Question, is that gonna be a cash bar?
No,
Okay,
that's what somebody just asked me. Christine just asked me that too.
so for some, because as you saw the flyer that was circulated via email, that, did it mention that? I think it did mention something, so I'm
They
sure
had to take that off. Well, he
oh,
ain't
they're
got
gonna,
on yet. He only got not even 10 minutes to jump on this call with the artist. They don't understand why the concrete is not in the ground yet. Should have been in the ground last week.
really,
Because that's a heavy sculpture. We wanted to not,
really,
you know what I mean? So I don't know Peter doesn't know what the problem is with them not having the installation done already, the concrete done.
well,
Trying to figure out,
okay. So is
and I
this
just
something,
said, because I feel like Mr. Lewis is new, he's trying to get a handle on the job. There's Peter just jumped back on. But he's not on. So,
Yeah, yeah.
hi, Peter.
Oh,
hi, Peter?
Yeah, Mr. Lewis just called me. He had a few before 2:30, but I know I heard he's available until 2:30 for that half an hour. He's on right now. Thanks. Thank you for signing in. I'm going to unmute you. I have to ask you to unmute yourself, Mr. Lewis. I know you don't have that much time.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, then. So here's Peter. Here's Mr. Lewis. Can you guys engage in a conversation real quick about that concrete and the things that you need?
well, I just sent an email with all the information that was on there for the sculpture installation, and the concrete information was sent a week or so ago.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind of questions you might have.
Yeah, and that's what and I'm sorry about the misunderstanding, but that's exactly what I was trying to express is that I have a team that's actually going to be assembling and doing everything on site. And for me to get my team online would be most important because for me to sit and try to go through all of this with you and not have all the details properly, that they may have questions come up and then I have to come back to you. I just thought it would be best for us to all get on the line at once and to
No,
disseminate
that's
this.
fine. That's fine.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to get them on our schedule as a group so that we can all talk about the details of this all at once. That way we don't have to I'm pretty sure that whatever email you sent that I'm looking at here with the height and everything, I'm looking at it. You want
Yeah,
to
oh, good.
deliver it at 10 a.m. I'm gonna go through full detail with them and do a briefing, and then we'll come back and have a conference call with you to make sure that we're correct and concise in regards to all the concerns that they have and that you have, so that we can make sure that we can make this go off without no problems.
That's great.
Okay, so if you bear with me, I'm gonna make sure I get with them. I'm heading to a meeting with them at 2:30 to 3:30, and as soon as I finish with them, we're gonna have a time. I'm gonna put a reply all to this email, and I'm gonna include my assistant, them, and as well as me in the email, so that we can all gather around and look over the information and get back and figure out what's a good time for us to all discuss it in detail. But I did just talk with Carl. He said that they're going to be installing these the concrete for us either sometime this week or either first thing Monday if possible. So I'm trying to get those
Okay,
requisitioned and taken care of, so that it'll be in more than in enough time for you to do what you need
great.
to do.
Okay.
So what do you mean
Now,
next
Mr.
week? Next week is cutting it kind of short, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I told Carl that I wanted to try to get that in by Thursday or Friday, and he said that he can do that if I get him the PO. So that's what I was doing on the other line before I called you guys.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis.
No, thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate all the help.
Yeah,
No,
but
we
the
understand.
sooner, yeah, the sooner it gets in the ground, the better. Because we
Yeah,
thought it would be in there at least by the 15th. And that way it
yeah.
has enough time to what,
Sure.
cure?
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get this to Dante today so that Mr. Sawyer can sign off on it. Benny's Concrete, he got the estimate here for the two slabs, one for this year and one for next year. And we're gonna get this PO to these guys so that they can hopefully start installing it at their earliest convenience.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Lewis, this is Marilyn. I also wanted to ask, did you get the opportunity to go out with Carl today and look over the other project?
No,
Uh,
I haven't. I got an event that we planning for that's gonna be taking off at let's see, this Saturday is going to be over in the art district, so we're trying to ramp up to get that out the way. So I'm doing my last walkthrough on that in the next 4 minutes. So once I finish that, I'm going to start ramping Carl up to get him situated with these concrete slabs, and to make sure that we got all the details of this event set up as well.
will that be enough time to address the Christine's installation with the two trees and, well, with the two tree trunks and
Yeah,
with what she's gonna need on top of that?
she was talking about doing hers on the 26th or the 27th, I think, right? What
29th.
was the 29th?
29th, and she also
Yeah,
sent you an email with a lot of the details
yeah.
on that I couldn't answer last night in terms of the circumference of how wide it is, and
Mhm,
those kinds of things. It's 3 feet apart, the
mhm.
diameters are 20 inch, one tree, and the other tree is 12.
Yeah,
But it's important that, no, she is right here, and I know you're got a couple of minutes left, but Christine, here's Mr. Lewis right here, the Director of Public Works. We're just talking about you.
how you doing, Miss Christine?
She's unmute.
You, Mr. Lewis.
Hey, how you doing today?
All right.
Great. Is there any way that when we schedule this call with my team that you'll be able to go over it in detail so that we can all make sure we have a clear understanding of exactly what you're going to need?
Oh, of course.
Okay. All right. So I'll be reaching out to you, or either Miss Sandy, she'll be reaching out to you so we can try to schedule something to get on your schedule so we can get this taken care of right away so that we can meet that, 29th deadline.
Mm-hmm. And did you get a chance to look at my email?
I have saw your email, but I didn't go through it in detail with the team yet.
Okay, all right. I forgot to put that the sculpture is a little under 100 pounds. It's not something that can be, hoisted up by a person. So that's the only thing I left out. But I did explain the installation process, and it really would be best to have a crane there. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna try to see if I can get something scheduled between now and probably tomorrow afternoon. So I'll definitely be talking with these guys and putting this on the schedule. So we should probably be on the phones tomorrow so that we can get some more details wrapped up around both of these sculptures. So yours seem a little bit more easier, a little less hectic than poundage wise. So, but I think, it's a little bit more specific in where the way it needs to be installed. So we just kind of got to get details surrounding that to make sure everyone's comfortable.
Yeah, great.
So, you're gonna rent the crane. And
Well,
so,
we don't know for sure if we're going to rent it or if we're going to use a neighbor's crane or not.
okay,
We haven't identified that. That's part of the conversation that I was having
okay.
with the guys.
Okay.
Because it
Okay.
would be for the 29th, and then you kind of come back, you got how many days between, just 2 days later. So you actually would rent it or borrow it for those 3 days?
Well, the last time we borrowed something from Hazel Crest, we borrowed it for a day and took it back and then borrowed it for another day. So I'm pretty sure we could figure something out.
Okay, all right.
I mean, from Country Club Hills, rather. We borrowed a
Yeah.
crane from them.
All right, so sounds good. I know you're rushed, it's 2:30. But I just wanted, to have a conversation with the two artists, so that everything's kind of ironed out and there's no third person in the middle trying to communicate.
No, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna send out an invite so everybody could be on the call when we talk.
Okay, and then
Okay,
we
thank you
have
very
one
much.
tomorrow night with Mr. Sawyer too.
Yeah, hopefully we can get these calls out the way prior to that so that we can make sure we got that detail if we got any other questions.
Okay,
Sounds
thanks.
good.
All right.
Okay, thank you
All
very
right. Have a
much,
nice
Mr.
day.
Lewis. Okay,
No, thank you
bye.
guys. Thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate you taking the time out. Have a
No
blessed.
problem.
Yeah,
All
my
See
right,
you
bye.
pleasure.
later. Bye.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Okay, I got the logistics too, which I'll print out. It's everything that you've been saying, but it is really important, Christine, that you're out there. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh, of
I
course.
would encourage you to be out there to oversee your projects, really.
I
Um,
wouldn't be anywhere else, of course. No, really, I need to be there. And my installer will be helping. So, yeah, of course, of course. I wasn't gonna drop it off and then go have a sandwich.
That sounds good.
No, not gonna do that. No, I can't wait till it's up there. I'm excited about it. How about
I,
you? Oh, go ahead,
I,
sorry.
I was just gonna say that, in yesterday's meeting, I had mentioned it to Mr. Lewis. However, he had not gone and seen the sites. I don't think he had seen any of the sites. Am I right, Alpha?
Right.
Where yours will be and where Peter's will be. And I thought that was important for him to see that because I forgot about the notches in the tree tops
Yeah,
so that you can set your, I'm going to call it a canopy on top of that. So,
yeah, that's
then
crucial.
so,
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. And he
And
said, Carl said that you chose the trees. And I noticed that one tree is a little larger in diameter than the other.
oh yeah, I
Okay, that'll work.
definitely allowed for that. I've made templates of the two trees, not totally, but the diameter. So I know
Okay.
exactly where it's going to be. Oh yeah, that's actually the only thing I've been thinking about for the last few weeks. So there really shouldn't be any surprises.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And so like I said, you're gonna use a crane as well, not the boom
The
truck.
broom
Well, the
truck.
boom truck has a crane. It's the bucket truck that Hazel Crest has. And as you know, a bucket truck wouldn't do it. It's just big enough for what, one person
Yeah,
or two at
two
Big
most?
enough.
persons.
Yeah, and you need, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Okay.
Right,
It's not for hoisting heavy things up. It's for tree trimming and things like that.
right. So then it's decided that a crane would be needed for yours as well.
Yes.
So the thought that came up yesterday also was, what was it? Was when they used that crane. Well, the question was, I think, I don't want to jump in front of you on this, Alpha.
Go ahead.
When they talked about bringing the crane out, they were considering, or was it to be considered if they could do both installations with that crane on the same day? But we just heard Mr. Lewis say if he has to, they'll do one and come back for the other without trying to, I'm assuming, do them both on the same day.
Right.
Yeah, Marilyn, we already, we talked about that. We can't do that because we have no idea how long one is going to take.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
And I just had a thought. Now the bucket truck belongs to Hazel Crest, correct?
Yes, it
Yes.
does.
Okay, I think that's needed also for mine because it's better to have, Carl said that he would do the chainsaw work to make the notches. And I'm sure he doesn't want to be up on a ladder with the chainsaw. It'd be much better if he were in the bucket.
He'll be in the bucket
Excellent.
because of the height of
Sure.
the trees.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that, but I just wanted to, have it verified. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, sounds like we're
And
on
then
a roll.
after they get, see the other part of the conversation too, is Bill needs time to do his, he had
Yes.
asked them last night, so on the 29th, then Bill will be able to get out there, what he said, the 29th, 30th, in October, 3 days before, so that the plants get watered and everything. So we want all that activity finished before Bill starts delivering his natives out there.
So
And
then,
Cootie.
Alpha,
Mhm.
was Bill able to get on earlier?
No, he has to meet with After School Matters, the director, because his program starts, and so he had that meeting to prepare for. So he's not able to. But he did
Okay.
needs to, I know you and him need to talk.
Yes, we do. Then maybe I can catch him. If not today, then on tomorrow.
I'm gonna share this right quick, and I know you guys are gonna jump off, but I was putting together this map, for placement of things that they asked
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm doing, Christine. I know you had sent me an idea earlier. There were more round shapes and pointed to, but I'm trying to put the floor plan together using this program. But this is a map, a walk audit toolkit that I got from AARP to kind of draw out where we're going to placement of things. They've asked me for this a couple of times, and I have to go through these tutorials to learn how to do it. Because
Okay.
usually people just draw it and hand it to but I'm just
Yeah.
putting it where, and so this is coming in off homes, and
Okay.
then you'll be over here in this
Okay.
area right here,
Sure.
you
Okay.
know, and I'll add your photograph in right there. So
Mhm.
that's kind of like what I've been working with until you guys jump back on the call.
Okay.
Mhm. And
All right,
that's about it.
and then when the sculpture is actually installed, you'll have the real thing. Now you just have a mock-up.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
then, Christine, let me ask. So on the bark of the tree, is there any type of maintenance or something that would need to be done?
That's a very good question. It'll be interesting to see how long the bark stays on because
Okay.
the trees will be dead
Right.
at that point. It might stay on for a few years. I'm hoping that when it starts to slough off, it'll be easy to kind of peel it off. Sometimes it comes off in big hunks.
Mhm.
And what I've done with tree sculptures in the past is I've waited for, if any bark remains, I've waited for the bark to naturally come off, and then I'll go in and smooth it down and stain it.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it will, I will definitely keep my eyes on it to see what happens.
So then you will come back and maintain that.
Oh, yeah, I always want my
Okay.
work to look
Okay,
good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the maintenance plan that each artist gave, while we're doing this project.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Because I don't want to stick my hands in it, which I wouldn't, but and knowing that that would confirm, oh no, we won't touch the tree and
Mm-hmm.
try to put our own signatures on there and add our own this, that, and the others.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it for the artist to do that.
There is a big red dot on the bigger stump, and I pretty sure I asked Carl about that. I haven't gotten a response. Is there any way to take it off?
Sure.
Yeah, with some sort of solvent. Otherwise, I would have to sand it off because it's distracting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to sand it off and then stain it so that it doesn't look so obvious that it's been sanded.
right. I know that's the spot that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask, so not to disturb the bark,
Mm-hmm.
could that uh, be covered over with some darker spray? Paint?
Well, it's kind of hard to, because it's not one solid color, it's kind of hard to match it without, it'll just look like a big brown spot then. So
Right.
if Carl, if you can tell me, is it lacquer based? Is it uh, turpentine based? And then I can address it. Or
I
maybe he
believe it
can.
is, I believe it's just enamel,
Enamel.
gray enamel. Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that would then be acetone. Let me see. I mean, I can bring several solvents out there. All right. Okay, I'm writing this down.
And Bill said he was gonna do something with this, with your area right here, huh?
Right, he had said, and that was something that we were going to get together on, Bill and I.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't particularly, now that I think about it and you're showing me, we didn't quite talk about that area. We had spoke more about, he was concerned about the entrance, and then we talked about embellishment around Christine.
Right over here.
Hmm.
We'll put her
But
closer to
yes, of
this
course,
tree.
that would, the three pink pots would have to be addressed.
Are they nearby?
No, I can't, I
They're
mean,
along
this
the
is,
trail.
yeah,
Mm,
this is, I'm kind of like placing things of how we're coming in, but you're over here on the other side of that cove. These might be smaller, but you're over here.
okay.
But there's tree area here, and it's a nice cove right here where
Mhm.
we're gonna place the musicians, right in this area.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I know you said no signs, so I ordered yard signs that are just that are the emblem of the village. That'll be put in front of your plant. I thought that'd be a good touch instead of a signage. And then another one down by Peter's area that, for photo, ops with the
Mhm.
media and what the village wants.
Now, one of the respondees that responded to me and intends to come asked about parking, and they wanted to know could they park all along that area by Christine's. installation? And I said, no. However, should we limit any parking there at all, or should it be limited to just a few spaces?
Listen, I'm gonna let you guys handle that. I don't know what to tell you about that. I'm gonna
Does
let
this
you guys.
person have mobility issues or
Yeah,
something?
that person does.
Okay.
And what I mentioned was that they could park to let the one with the disability out and then go park in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking, since it came up, which makes sense, we really would like for that whole area to be cleared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And didn't, aren't they supposed to put up like, cones in front of that area? Did they talk about putting cones up or something like that, yesterday?
Uh,
Hello?
no, I'm about the cones.
Marilyn,
I've got
is she on mute?
No, but she's far away from her phone.
Yeah, I hear her faintly.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All
well,
right, see you later, Peter.
bye.
Bye. I love the colors that you put on the
Oh,
piece.
thank you.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right. So I will go as well. And wait, am I on mute? No, I'm not. Okay. All right. So I think we figured everything out.
I think
And
so. And then
yeah,
just look for the call from Mr. Lewis so that we
Yeah.
can, they got new people on, in their defense, they're also training new people, new
Mm-hmm.
hires,
Okay.
and getting their hours and their contracts and stuff together as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Mhm.
just wanted to say that I heard you all for a moment. You couldn't hear me because
Right.
Bill was calling me.
Oh, okay.
So I asked him if he could jump on the Zoom for these last minutes, which I think he's attempting to do.
Okay. Thank you, Marilyn. Sounds good.
Okay.
Because you and I have a lot, we have the catering stuff to go through. We're not gonna labor and have artists do it. The most important thing today was getting, oh, we got a new hairdo, Bill?
Yeah, it's,
All
I had,
right, I'm stopped.
okay,
All right, okay, I like it.
thank you.
No, wait, I had to
Very
turn
nice.
my video on so I could see this. No, I'm just saying,
Oh,
I'm glad you got on, Bill, because we were just talking about Christine's installation, and we were just talking about the conversation you and I are going to have in terms of uh, putting embellishments around it,
Yeah,
not added, but around it.
yeah, she told
Um,
me last week about that. I told her I would add something to it to give it a pizzazz, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay,
That's great.
yeah. So yeah, there's another. You know what happened yesterday by accident? I was on my way to the bank around 9 o'clock in the morning, and in Hyde Park they have these box plants that are for spring, summer, fall, and they were throwing a lot of plants away
Oh,
that
no.
ooh, ooh.
I grabbed. I had 3 or 4 bags in the trunk, and so they're really nice. So it'll add a nice accent
That's great.
to the event. Yeah.
all
Oh,
right, so
that's
they're gonna be
wonderful.
okay by the time,
I somehow they're in plastic, soil, and water, and then somehow they're in the my greenhouse, so they'll be fine.
Great.
all right, so we just finished talking to Mr. Lewis, trying to stage everything for, the concrete pour hasn't been done yet. It needs to be done this week. But they're working on it. And they have a contractor for it and working on a PO, to pay for it. So I think that's what the long drag is getting that purchase order and making sure they have the money to pay that contractor. And you know how it takes time to go through the,
Yeah,
that part of it. So that's what's going on with the hold up with the concrete pour. But Peter like really wants that to get in. We all want that to get in the ground this week, not wait till next week to get it done. And Peter's gonna work out delivering his sculpture on October 1st. And then the village is looking for a crane and trying to possibly borrow it from Country Club Hills to get it over there without having to rent it. They probably do have to lease it or do a kind of rental or something, Maryland, from the other county, the other
Probably so.
township. So we're gonna let Public Works handle that part. You know, and kind of stage it and everything, but definitely I do want to be out there when both installations are going on, and I really wanted to be out there when the concrete pour. Hopefully it's done, you know, this week. The day's
Yes,
Tuesday, so that it has the weekend, you know, to kind of cure, and you know, we don't have to kind of stress about it. Because next week it's cutting it too short.
yeah, it would be. And I agree. I think I am off on tomorrow and what's tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. I will go out there and see what it is that I see. If I see any improvements, have anything been done? We had a lot of lumber lying around the area of Christine, your installation where it had been dropped, where it had been taken down. I want to make sure that has been removed and it's not still sitting there. Also, I want to make sure that the grounds are cleared of thick branches and bark that have been cut and laying around. So I'm going to go out and kind of oversee that area as well. Um, I would like, though, Bill, if at some point we can begin to map out how to embellish the grounds, period, with
Yeah,
plants and flowers.
yeah. And Alpha, I wanted to share with you because there was you were concerned about the people would there were is the grounds are not even
Level.
and that
Yeah.
so because I thought that where that podium was would be an ideal space, but what we could I mean just I'm throwing it out there here, but what we could do is maybe the people in wheelchairs can be on the sidewalk where w- Marilyn, do you think it's sort of lopsided or uneven? So I won't do it if that will happen, but I was just making a suggestion.
What do you
What
mean
was it?
lopsided or uneven? What are we talking about?
You know where the logs are, and
Yeah. For
uh,
sitting?
yeah, for sitting. And then what I'm thinking is that Carl created a podium,
Mm-hmm.
which is in front of there. But I think with that walkway, it's going to be very much shaded. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of ways to, about the embellishment. Should we focus on? Be, I know you have a number of floral pot, what do you call planting pots in the front as you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
So there
Mm-hmm.
isn't anything in there. But
No.
but what?
Uh,
How are you feeling, Alpha, about that? Wanna?
How do I feel about what?
Well, the
I'm paying
idea.
attention. I'm in the background working on the floor plan that everybody keeps asking me about. And if one more person asks me about it and I don't have it ready, and Mr. Sawyer sent an email that we have a meeting tomorrow to get updated and da, 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 da. So as you're talking, I'm gonna pull up what I was working on because it has everything to do about what you're talking about visually.
Okay.
Some people are more visual than just, all right, so this is the potted area right here. And I'm looking at the entry and coming in to the space. Can you all see this right here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
So this right here is like when you come up the pathway and I'll draw the lines for the pathway and we're walking past this in terms of placement of tents, high boys chairs. But I put this here, Bill, because you were gonna do something,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yes, yeah, something will be there. That's good. And
Good.
then,
Okay.
how far, where do you see the seating? I mean, from your design, so I'll know where to place
The
things.
seating, I think that this will be a pathway. I was working on two different schematics, but this one I was trying to do more visual. The other I was just kind of drawing, sketching it out, you know, the floor plan before going into the detail of it. But this is the one that got the images so far.
Oh,
So you asked me about around Christine's piece right here.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now, is that where, I mean, are we saying that you would prefer to have chairs in that vicinity?
No, chairs and seating will be like, this is the entry area, you know, that we're working with. And I think we got all this space right here. There's not going to be a lot of chairs because we're going to have tables. You know, there's, you know, 9 high boys. I'll draw those out along the path. But all this is kind of open green, but this entryway and this off of homes right here is what you're thinking about, right?
No, I'm thinking, you know, where we were at the last meeting, where we were in front of the podium, the wood podium, and then the logs were semicircle. That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
This right here. It's
even
this
though,
image right here.
yeah, I thought even though there's housing behind it, we could, with the flower arrangements, we could, I mean, curb it, urban nature type of environment. But if we're concerned about injury, if it's that bad, then I'll go with, you know, where we're going to have to arrange the seating near the pathway. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
here, we were talking about from the street coming in and then having a couple of chairs. And then we said the cove over here was where the musicians would be. It's like a little cove area, not far from, it's a flatter ground right here where her reception area would be set up. So I don't
yeah.
know how many chairs we're going to be talking about right here.
You
Okay.
know,
Not
I hadn't
enough.
really thought in terms of chairs, period,
Mm-mm. Right.
because chairs on that lawn would not be good. But what we did say, and I think Christine, you may have brought it up or agreed with it, is that we will have a trail of mulch
Yes.
going to
Mhm.
your installation, and that's would be fine. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we would have lawn. No chairs would work well at all because, and I
Mhm.
don't see anyone sitting too much, other
No, it's
than when we
standing
may
one.
talk about the reception, excuse me, and or if there is someone with walking issues, we would hope that they would have their walker slash wheelchair,
Oh,
and maybe there would be few seating on the trail. And of course, there's the seating on the logs if anyone wanted to sit there. And I had said I would put something there to
Mhm.
protect their clothing. But other than that, when I look at this, we're really talking about, what are we saying? We had said an hour and a half, but we're talking about maybe 2 hours now. Uh,
Yeah, well, the press conference and all of that is we're keeping it tight from
mm-hmm,
11:30 to 12:30, and it's over. That's an hour. And afterwards, if people linger, that's when the reception happens, right? But for her Q&A, and we're adjusting this
excuse
time
me.
schedule, but
Mm-hmm.
we have her at 12 o'clock
Okay.
to go
And
walk
then,
over to her space and do an artist talk for 15 minutes. And then they're going to now go down to Peters and do at 12:15, give or take, and walk down there, you know, to gather. And then the last installation is the tree planting and reception to follow. So we have some room to work with that, but giving them a half an hour, within that half an hour.
okay.
mm-hmm,
We did talk about high tables,
High
yes.
boys, uh-huh.
high
We have
boys.
9 of them.
Yeah, 9. So where will they be placed?
Well, I'm still, like I just said, I'm still working on this here map thing and trying to I'm putting the images, because I'm doing a tutorial while we're talking to try to figure it out. But
Yeah,
this will be like right here, like here will be the pathway. And there's more space in here because Peters is the next one coming up here. And it may not be that far away, but I didn't want it to look cluttered. So I gave 2 pages, one for each. And so the walkway, Bill, if you can see this, it would be coming down this way.
yeah, I
And then,
see it.
you know, and it kind of meanders. I'll draw a curved line to show where it meanders. And then I'll start putting the setup in here, you know what I
Oh,
mean, with the tents. And I'll put the circles for where we're spacing the chairs. We were supposed to had, when it was first talked about, Mr. Lewis was going to go out and measure the distance so that we can equally place, you know, the high boys along the way. If there's 9 of them, you know, how many feet apart? We don't know that yet because there's no measurement that has happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
everyone, I have to go.
All right,
So,
Christine.
yeah, I'll be talking to Mr. Lewis tomorrow, hopefully.
Yes.
And yeah, all right, great. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks,
All right,
Christine.
thanks for joining
Bye.
us.
Bye.
Anyway, so I'm putting this together, Bill. I have 2 of them that I'm playing around with. That was the one where I'm putting the images on. And this other one is where I'm just actually trying to draw the images on.
Okay. And I guess that's why we're talking now is,
Right here, this is the
Oh,
one I'm drawing. See
yeah,
right here. And I
yeah.
couldn't manipulate this in Adobe as much as I could in the other program. So I switched because this was hard for me to navigate. But here is where I was talking about, I'm going to start drawing and tell me where you're down here, where you want things to go. Because I started off on this one and I just couldn't get it together. And so I'm going to move this down lower because this is the beginning of the trail.
You know, I'm Maryland and Alpha. I'm
Mhm.
just trying to figure out, I mean, like we talked about the distance. And I'm just trying to figure out, do we have tables around Christine's, and then we're gonna have tables around.
No, we're not gonna have tables and over there, all that over there.
No,
What we're
that
trying to focus on is the pathway. You know, getting people on the pathway to each space.
Oh, and so the tables will be on the side or on the pathway?
On the pathway, that's the only
on
level
the
ground out
pathway.
there. See right
Mhm.
here, I drew that in there. And
Oh.
then, you know, let me see. And so this line would bring us down here. You know,
Yeah,
to the,
I gotta, that will work. I see what you're saying, and that's a good
Mhm.
way of doing it. Um, on the pathway leading to both sites.
Right.
Okay.
Because you know, the committee, I think most people are visual people. And you know, I'd rather this down there by the way is this one. You'll see this right here, you know, than me trying to do a circle and they don't get it, especially for people that haven't really been out there. And
Right.
then I'll
Mhm.
put Christine's image over here like the other one. But this one, again, I can manipulate better and draw on it better. So, whereas I couldn't really do that with the other program, or I still got to take myself through the tutorial to learn how to do it.
So, Alpha, is that what Mr. Sawyer is asking for?
Yeah, that's what he's asking for. And I'm like, it take me a
That's too
minute to
much.
do.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute to think through this. Um,
Now
and
he
I was
wants
like,
this for himself.
I, you
What, what,
know,
what is the purpose?
Yeah,
Truthfully,
I think it's, honestly, it's not necessary. I think
it's not necessary.
we can just, because we have an idea where we want to visually place things. So
And if he would like to come out as we're doing it through the week, then I would agree because it's,
yeah,
I'm gonna
that,
give him this thing as a map because again, it's a good tool to use.
okay,
And I got
okay,
this from the walkability study from AARP and their
okay.
placemaking. And it's a
Okay.
tool that you use like when you're doing workshops. It's a tool that you see even with the photographs and videos of the area. You know what I mean? That's why I'm putting it in there. If we're doing a presentation, we can click this and whoever's videotaping Peter's installation, maybe that'll come up. You know what I mean? We got to look at this as another tool that in our arsenal to use in documenting
Okay.
this project. So I'm just,
Okay.
okay,
All
we're
right.
getting in here, learning how to put this map together. I've been asked
Mm-hmm.
other maps where handicap accessibility issues. So I put other maps together, but this is the first time I've used this program and thinking through the bird's eye view. And Christine and I, we talked, and Bill talked about the map, and Bill is going to create a map of
Yeah,
the area. And so this is the beginning of our conversations about mapping and the challenges of putting that together. So it's okay. It's
yeah,
needed,
Okay.
but
I,
it's
I
kind of
see.
like
Alpha, I think concerned
Wait
that
a minute. Alpha, I
it's
have to grow.
needed.
I see. I
yeah,
see.
we don't want you to overwhelm yourself,
I'm
really.
not
Yeah, but
overwhelming
that's the
myself.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
the ticking of things that we do is an event and project management. That's why he's throwing that out there, because he already know that I know. So label the streets and this key. I did use this key when I was doing the AARP community challenge program in Sacramento, California, when they were awarded last year. So with the team that came out with that I was working with, they got this map. They were able to kind of do the mapping of the location. So it's really something I need to challenge the open land
Okay.
people about
Okay.
learning how to do this as well. But I'm just showing you, because we're on Pop-Up Research Station, the tutorial of what I'm going through. So homes is going to have to be erased because Peter's area is the first map. And then the second map where I'm going to add Christine's image down here is the second one. And so we're going to look at the halfway mark and, you know, uh, put that. So I need to know, Bill, so I could draw in your area of where you are going to put your natives so I can tell them when they ask.
Yeah, Marilyn, what, do we need to place things 3 days before the event, or in order for them, because I talked with Carl about compost that might keep the plants nourished until Saturday. So what,
So are you thinking to put these plants in the ground?
well, some could go in pots. I could dig, it's not a big hole that we could do, just enough to, um, I'm just trying to think of the design from Christine's space to the front area, and then maybe we could place something around Peter's space.
What we had talked about with Christine's, which is which is really interesting, when we clear that space between both trees and level that, of course, that will have the compost there, not the compost, the um the the wood chips there. And that will brighten the area and lift it. And I think Carl and I had that conversation as well when he cut those hanging branches from those other trees out of the way. It will clear that up and it will look good. I think from that distance, you can actually see the Creole pink pots from there. But to the right of Christine's installation, there's a tree that was taken down and it has a pretty nice size diameter that we had talked about maybe setting a planter on top of that.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
And I have plants that could work well in that area that you're talking about. So
mhm,
I'm just trying to figure out a way of us getting together where when it's time to start, uh, you know,
planting,
planting,
working. Let's see.
so to Are you doing like a Wednesday, Thursday, or how? I mean, Thursday and Friday and Saturday are my good days. So
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
yeah, Saturday is the event,
Okay,
but
yeah, okay.
that during that event week, you think Thursday is too soon?
No, not at all.
Yeah, and as long as they're watered, I think they'll bounce up and be,
Yeah, they should do well. Um,
yeah,
they
and
should do well in those few days, sure.
yeah, and I have some, yeah, I have some, just a variety of things that will work well in the space. So, um, yeah,
Now, that's right. What I do need to do is get back with Mr. Kearns in regards to his music and musicians. I do need to touch bases with him, which I'll probably text him after our conversation to see how that's going, see how he's going with that. Um, Bill, I told Alpha, I forwarded her a flyer that Mr. Kearns, the musician with the trios, that
yes,
he's having a music session going on that Saturday, the 27th at 7:30 in the evening. His music studio is not going to be across the street where he's going to have the event. It's not going to be across the street from the art uh, district. And I think that you all are going to the art district that day, evening as
I'm gonna
well.
go at 5. I'm gonna show up at 5.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think, what are we, you're talking about Saturday?
we're talking about Saturday the 27th.
Oh, the 27th.
Uh-oh, which is this weekend, as a matter of fact. Ooh,
Yeah, I won't be able to make it because I have a North Side event.
okay.
I mean, I have to, yeah, it's a project that I'm doing on the North Side.
And you're right, because Alpha, you did say you and your granddaughter were gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said I can't, like, I'm actually texting her mother back and forth right now about my schedule for the weekend. But this rectangle this triangle right here is going to be symbol for the tent. This right here is for the table. You know, I could they're gonna white tablecloths, and then I'll put the circles in. Um, yeah, I'll put the circles in. And where they're gonna go. Once I draw the line, figure out how to draw the line on these grids like that. So where would you place, where do you want to place those high boys? And I don't know if a table will work over here because you have the
No.
musicians right here.
Yeah, well, that's the musicians are going to be in that kind of coved area that we talked about.
Yes.
And right near there is where there's that big, large diameter trunk that we talked about, maybe putting a potted plant and or looking at that again, that might be something we could put a tabletop across, so to speak, if that would assist them in what they would need, uh, if that would help them in some type of way. Otherwise, I thought nice potted plants that could encompass that, or as well as sit on top of that, will of color would bring color over to that area. The high boy, I thought, will of course go along the trail.
Mhm.
Um,
But this is this black area is what I'm starting the trail with. So right now there's
okay.
two, and then we'll have another one, and but they'll like the trail kind of curves, and I'll take look at that. But we talked about having a tent at the end, where hospitality would be under a tent down there.
I'm looking at where you actually have that um And another key thing is finding out where Carl is wanting to plant that tree setup. And it will be over there somewhere by the conversation area. So where you have the triangle,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to picture where that would go. That conversation area, that flat portion where we did the mandala, to me seems to be a good area useful for what we want to do in terms of reception and food, because it's flat, it's a little more level, it's not too far from the pathway. And this is just my thought. It's not too far from the pathway. When we start going further down towards Peter's installation, then you're going more into the wooded area. And I'm kind of wondering if that would be an area where we would want to have any high boys at all. Uh, Again, I'm just mapping this out from,
Well, we're jumping from what Bill jumped on. Bill was talking about something else, and I'm just putting the circles on, trying to
okay, I'm sorry.
navigate,
Let me go back to
navigate,
where
putting
you,
these circles up here, and then we can talk. We can, kind of think about, um, placement. Right now, I'm got to deal with placement and getting the images up here. Control D.
oh,
Okay.
Bill, you did mention, you had said that you would like to have, did you say, native plants, or not so much a surrounding, but around Peter's
No, I'm
installation?
not planting any natives. I'm bringing some annuals that just for this event.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just for aesthetics?
yeah, for aesthetics for this event, uh, but you and I will go further into natives after this event
After the, oh yeah, absolutely,
because
absolutely.
I've got my ideas. What we talked about near Kedzie. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just because I may maneuver where I can get plant material and resources uh, easily. I just have to network and find out what's available, and so we could talk
Okay,
as we
okay,
the week after.
okay, that's fine. Now, you did ask about what would be a good day, what would be good days on, oh my gosh, is that next week?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it
Oh
is.
no, this is too much. I asked Mr. Sawyer had he had those invitations out. Well, I'm going, this thing is next week. Oh,
Hey, let me just hush. Let me see.
well, I did do some due diligence and putting some word out and getting some feedback. Now for him, I just, oh, oh. And you saw the flyer that was just, I suppose, circulated. Well, I approve. It looks good. Have y'all put it out there? So, okay, we're going to move forward.
Yeah, we went back and forth a lot, and I said I'm not doing any more editing and anything because it just
Mm-mm,
seemed
mm-mm,
like they were going
mm-mm,
to use what I was just wasting my time. When
yeah,
I got
and
all this
not
other
only
stuff I
that,
need to be focusing on.
it needed to have been out. I didn't care if it was a dot that, well, whatever. But okay, so
Now,
Bill, you said Thursday and Friday would be good?
what is it? Is it yeah, Thursday and Friday of next week?
Okay,
So
okay.
just thinking of how I'll try to check with Jim's schedule and see, you know, about his availability because it's gonna see the car that it's like a hatchback, so we can flatten it where we can
Bring all of what
Yeah,
you have or most of what you have.
some, I have some ceramic pots to place on the tables. And so
Okay.
and I may try to, I'm figuring out ways of embellishing. I didn't want to go, I mean, I have tons of artificial from Murphy Hill Gallery, but I won't go there. I think I'm going to see if I can collect some, I'll work it out, whether it's hydrangeas or something that'll nicely accent what's in the ceramic bowls on the table.
Okay. And I was going to also say, depending on what you were wanting to bring in, if you transportation space, I could come into the city maybe that Wednesday
Oh, that would be good.
and bring what I could in my vehicle.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're right. I just can't believe it's next week.
Yeah,
What am I? What am
it's
I? Where am I at? You know how you see? Okay, okay, so that's good. And Alpha, I did hear back from the lady. She looks
Mhm.
and she sees that she does have her license. It expires in 2028,
Okay.
or if she's needed
So, I mean,
for
that, then is she gonna charge us?
no.
Okay, because
She
that's
is,
next.
yeah, she's a go-to person that I really appreciate. She uh no, she doesn't charge. Usually what we do for her is something that she may need or want. Uh but for example, if we had the burlap stacks out there, she may say, "Oh, I could use a few of these. Here, take them." But as far as money, no, because
She
I'm
was the one that
thinking,
was out there. Is she the one that wanted those sex?
what was it that she was? I think she was. I think she did. And we said, no, we were going to use
I think
them.
all I said was I donated them. Y'all figure out what y'all gonna do.
Right. Okay.
And I
And
walked
I don't
away. They were
just
donated
happened.
to me. I wouldn't,
Yeah. And I
okay.
just happened to think
I've
of
got to
that.
prepare for class, so
Okay.
I'll have
So we'll,
all right, so just call me anytime, Marilyn. I'll be available. And Alpha, yeah. When is the next meeting with?
tomorrow, Mr.
Dante.
Sawyer sent out an email
Oh,
for
Lord.
tomorrow.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, at the same time in the evening. That's why I was trying to get this stuff done.
Oh, okay, I hear you. So all right,
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Okay, so I'll get with you, but I'm putting it in my on my calendar, Bill, to
He said
link
that that
with you,
meeting is at 6:30 tomorrow.
Okay,
and I'm
He
putting
sent the
in.
link as well. All
all
right,
right.
so do you see guys, see how I'm putting the floor plan together and then I'll add your image, your florals in there in a minute? But this is kind of like, I guess is, basic, and then we could, at least we have some plan,
Okay,
you
okay.
know. All
Okay.
right, so I'll talk to you later. I know you're rushing, Bill,
Yeah,
but
okay.
Bill and I gotta go over this
Yeah,
menu
we'll
as
go
well.
over it. But Bill, I will link with you on next Wednesday to get together with you to get plans
Okay,
that
sounds
you
good.
have.
You all
Okay,
a blessed evening.
and you also. Thanks so much for getting on and even calling me.
Yeah, okay. Bye now.
All right, bye.
Do you think we should put a high boy over here by Christine's piece?
Not at all.
Okay, so keep the high boys and everything on the path.
Yes, and I say that because also when we start talking about the lawn,
Yeah,
that lawn I'm sure will be mowed whenever, but we don't. Hi, boy, that lawn is so unstable
right.
that I'm concerned about anything falling there. And not only that, that's and these Mr. Lewis's high balls. I mean high boys.
They belong to the other department. the social engagement department.
Okay, because I remember him, and don't break up and whatever he said, but that's true.
Don't get them
Because
dirty, don't get them scratched up, none of that.
something is subject to be knocked over. The best place for those high boys will be on the pathway, nowhere
This is
else.
the pathway where I'm kind of setting things. I put the podium right here, you know, a media table. That's for when, you know, the trustees are for their name tags and stuff like that, you know, and a packet to give to whatever media comes, you know, we'll have a media table for them, and we need a person sitting over here. That person would also be doing surveys, you know what I mean, and checking people
Let me
in,
ask
taking,
you, so is that over there on the side by the conversation area where that
yeah,
tree is?
yeah.
Because that area to me, in my opinion, is not necessarily the best.
All right, so I put, we working with it, just tell me where, but I put this here because I'm gonna write homes right here when I,
Mm-hmm.
you know, again, I'm just now learning this program, so it's not as if I worked this program before. I've just done working with it. Let me see, copy, duplicate it. And this is something we were talking about earlier in Pop-Up Research Station that we wanted to make sure that we had. This is the um, entry. And
And
this
when we
is where your
come in,
sign is. This is where y'all sign is, right?
this is where our sign is, and oftentimes that's where we actually put our tent. Now, when I think about it, I don't know how that tent got as far down the pathway
Well,
where
I put
Tara
it down there so that if we're gonna have like refreshments on that end where, you know, Peter is, it would be under a shaded area or something, or we don't have to put
well,
it down there.
this area is a little distance. Not a whole lot, but it's a little distance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking the tent, yeah, the refreshment tent, yeah, that can actually be on the opposite side. But the welcoming tent is somewhere near the signage and the
That's where I put
bags is
media
what,
table right here.
okay,
This is the key. I'm gonna put a key together too, because that triangle represents the tent, and I put media table.
okay. And that to me should be on the, that should be on the side where, uh, on the side of the trail as we're first coming in, where Christine's piece will be, and also where Peter's piece will be, all on that as we're coming in the left side.
Right here.
Yeah, yes, yes. Because that will also be across the pathway from where the bench is, where people could sit down if they needed to wait on their ride to pull up or whatever they would
So you're
need to
saying you
do.
want this media table pulled down here?
Yes. Now let me ask you, what would be on that media table?
I just told you, no, what, okay, like, okay, now I must
You
be
gotta help
tired.
me.
Yeah, I
Well, you
must be
gotta
tired
help
right
me
now.
because when I think
What's
of
gonna go on the media table are, sign in, you know,
uh-huh.
whoever comes, you know, a packet of information for the media, you know, our speakers. You
Mhm,
know, they'll have the agenda, you know, they'll have the press release in there,
mhm,
the
mhm,
invite in there, you know what I mean?
mhm,
So it's,
mhm.
you know, when you put a press kit together, it's ways that the one up did all the work on would go in there. The event, location, and the back of it talks about the art and the artist, the social media links they can go to find us, and if they have questions, who to comment on. All of that's
Okay,
in the press release, and then we'll have the agenda that day. Something else that would
okay,
go in the press kit are upcoming events. Something else that you guys are doing out there should go in. So,
okay,
you know, and then
okay,
that media table is just for your trustees your speakers for the day and media, special guests that are come out. They're not just really for the general public.
Oh, that won't be for, now what will we do for the general public?
I haven't got there yet. I'm over here thinking about who we knew that I'm only gonna focus on right now, trustees and
Okay,
like that, the people that guest speakers that we're calling out. The general public is,
that
we even,
flyer,
yeah, there you go.
the flyer people.
Um,
You know what I thought? Just me. I thought for those that have RSVP'd, as you're saying
yes.
on the media table, if their names were down on some form, uh, now I may be really, really uh, putting too much into that, but that's what I kind of thought. I thought for the people that did not really RSVP, the flyer people,
Mhm.
then they would, someone, a committee person, could pass out to them as they're coming along the trail. Oh, have you RSVP'd? And they, no. Well, then they would just get whatever we gave them, a pamphlet or something. Whereas the RSVP people would stop at the table and get the media
Yeah,
things
right.
that you have provided. We're separating the goats from the sheep, so to speak.
Right,
Now,
and that's what I thought that would be good, the sign in, that way we
Mhm,
prepare a
mhm,
special, we only have an unlimited amount of, what we have prepared, you know what I mean? And,
mhm.
so, and then I'm gonna put this other, I ordered these, so I think they're gonna be sharp. I was gonna show you. This. Here we go. Um, um, you see me trying to put this map together as we talk,
That's
like
fine.
that, huh?
I said, that's fine.
So, okay, we have 9, here it is. Let's look at y'all. And there's only gonna be, Bill said that he was bringing his, podium. So I ordered 2 of these, one for Christine's area and one to be put down here in front of Peter's. I can't get into, I just put the emblem for the village. Because it was
Okay.
just too much going on with, okay, now you naming something different because you guys changed
Yeah.
the name of the thing.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
all
like,
that.
I don't know. So anyway, over here is where all this is going to be staged. Pretty much, we may be cat a corner, so it might be sitting right here in front of the thing until I order the I haven't ordered the plaques yet, to go in. I still got to work on that, but we'll put that right
Mhm,
here somewhere. And I think
mhm.
that this high boy right here kind of brings things together for people standing around this area. And, Peter just said he doesn't know if people want to drive all the way out there. So I know Christine said she knows a lot of people that are gonna come, and what's her number. And I'm like, we don't really have a number for
Well, I think you mean a number, her telephone number?
no, for people to RSVP, because when I said, well, we're not gonna really worry about that as the general public, is that when we got the information about the other flyer, it's just gonna not be a RSVP. It's gonna try to get as many people interested in coming as possible as the
Oh,
intent of
right,
the other
right.
flyer. You know what I mean? So, but we want to focus on the people that are RSVP and our special guests,
Yes.
right?
And
And
my
so,
thought seemed like it came so simple when she was talking about texting, because everyone has just basically texted me and said they were coming.
yeah.
Um, so
And
if
I was
she,
gonna create one of those, um, I was gonna try today and send it so all of us could do a RSVP and, to people that we want, to come.
Mhm.
Now that I got the right language, who to contact,
You
so I
had
think
the right
hi
language
boy,
before.
one, two, like, come on now. Because a lot of changes have happened, right, with you all, with this, merging your committee, you know. So do you think this table is gonna be up too high? Because I'm looking at that, remember
do.
there's a, so this a curve right here. And so
I
Peter's
do.
on the curve.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so this was, I put a tent for hospitality over here, but
But
again,
that's
that's
going
not
to be
far.
in the wooded area,
It's in
I
that
think.
cove area by the seating right here. So I could pull this down. Remember, there's a tree
Let's
right there
see.
that Carol's gonna have her installation in, that tree that sits right across from this area that goes right here. And then this moves down, I think, a little bit because there's a tree right there. And we want the music close. So, you know, the tent is hospitality. So I don't know. And, you know, one of your
Now,
committee
when you say
members.
hospitality, so that I can understand, what are you meaning? That's
Well,
when,
if we have trays or different stuff like that, you know, we didn't want to have all the food at the beginning of the situation. We want people to come down all the way. You know what I mean? So that's a good
okay,
question that we need to think
okay,
about, is how do we want to stage different sections if of
okay,
advertisers going down the way? If we have these tables right here, and then Bill is adorning these tables with plant life and stuff, we still need to
okay,
have trays or something along the way. You know what I mean? For people, you
okay,
know,
okay,
snacks coming
okay.
down the way and not all in one place just with the lunch. So this is what would go on these tables, you know.
Now, my thought is, and I understand what you're saying, is when we start talking about putting hospitality, and that's going to be a tent and so forth, on the ground, should we maybe have some kind of platform uh, on the ground? I won't say the table on the tent on a platform, but some kind of, well, maybe not. I'm going too far. I'm just thinking again, maybe there needs to be a separate, at the time of setup the night before something, a separate spray that could keep any hopping insects and all of that down. Keep that down. Well, we're gonna spray for the, and I'm gonna follow up with
All right,
Mr.
remember
Lewis
when
on.
we also have to remember is that we're staging from across the street with catering. We want
Yes,
people to be down at the other end while we're
I see.
setting up
I see.
the food. So I was trying to make sure, here's a table right here. Where you, and I haven't got to the bar area yet. You got the media table, you got the DJ. All of this is, I don't know where the DJ gonna go because they got to deal with the generator and all that kind of stuff. But I know
He said
where,
he was gonna rethink that.
well, okay, we let him rethink it then. But right now, we got someplace for them to go when we go
Yeah.
down this thing of showing, you know, putting together this thing. If they have
Mm-hmm.
9 high boys going down the path, and this is the path, you know, and we have 4 tables. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tables. 1, 2.
Now,
And
when
then
I
we got,
see the long oblong black, is that tables?
yeah,
I see
that's
the
table.
round. Is the
That's
round the
table.
table?
That's the long tables. We only asked for
Okay,
4, remember?
okay.
But I
And you're
actually
spacing
ordered
it out. Okay,
8. I ordered 8 tablecloths
okay,
because I don't know if we have those prep tables, but the tables that we're setting on the floor out here, I got tablecloths for 8 tables.
okay.
So to
And
cover
even if,
those prep tables and to cover, you know, where you know, to cover the VIP area,
mm-hmm,
that kind of stuff, you know.
okay,
But I don't really I don't think we should have the food sitting right here at the gate, at the mouth of stuff. I
I
like
see.
what you're saying. And then, but we got to keep them on the pathway of stuff,
Yeah.
you know. I haven't put the
Well,
bar up here yet. That's the media table.
now the bar, in my opinion, could almost be sort of like the furthest, in my opinion. Because when I'm thinking about food and what I'm thinking about, and that area, for example, across from where Peter is, that area is condensed with trees. When I
Right.
think of trees, I'm thinking more insects versus an opened area. So I wouldn't suggest food there. I could see maybe the bar being there.
That way away from the music and everything
Condensed
that's going in
trees.
the
The
music right here that I put okay, we jumped to the music is the musicians.
hmm
So you think the bar would be set up halfway going there?
I think the bar should be, depending on how we decide to set up the food stations, I think the bar should be the furthest.
All right, I put it in the middle, halfway going down, right here.
Okay, okay, okay. Then as I had mentioned about the food area, because how many food stations are we having? Two or one?
Well, we need to have more than one.
Okay, so one food station will have, let's say, the sandwiches. Let's assume that's where we're going. The sandwiches, the other food tent would have the uh I don't want to say cutlery because I mess it up every time, but the cheeses and the fruit
Uh-huh.
and the glass and the ice. I gotta see about,
So
what did I
this is
say?
pretty much, I'm gonna download this because it's as far as I can go. This is in the front. And then
Mm-hmm,
this is going down the way. We got to draw it out a little bit more. I don't know where the
mm-hmm,
tool is for
mm-hmm,
this.
mm-hmm.
This is the bar. So text box.
And once you send that to me, because I thought myself, I said, well, I can also sketch on some paper
Actually,
what
I sent this to you. All you have to do is copy it out.
okay,
And I'm gonna send this draft one to you so you can
okay,
have it. But I sent the actual I actually sent the whole thing to you as when I sent the press release, you were CC'd on the map. So we
okay.
could, all of us can work on this mapping thing.
And I did look at what you had sent. Was that 3, 4 pages?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, I did look at it. I just, as I said, couldn't remember offhand, had I, but I did. And I viewed it again today. And yeah. So
So I'm
this
trying to
that
count, yeah, I'm trying to count out as many um bar stools that, okay, high boys, you got one.
bar stool?
I'm sorry. I'm just, one,
So they're
two,
sitting at the bar now?
three, 4, 5. Now I only got 5 tables accounted for here, high boys, you know. Um, hmm, maybe one in the
And there's
entertainment.
going to be 9. Did we say there's
Hmm.
going to be 9? Okay,
Right.
and you said you have tablecloths for 8. I could see the
Um,
tablecloths for the 8, and one of those high boys could probably have, I have to consider the not the flyer people, that
mhm,
maybe there will be something on that table, such as pamphlets for them or that for them. Then also you ordered the containers, right, for
mhm.
the VIPers, should I say? Were
I
they?
haven't, those metal things, I'm still looking for 'em. But I talked with a okay, so now you see where I'm going with this, and what I'll do is I'll save it, download it, and
Yeah,
send it to
yeah,
you, and then we can still draw on this. But just
yes.
for the sake of moving to the next thing that we need to talk about, and it's 3:43 right now. Let's see, I'm gonna download this. PDF works best.
I've got to contact Morton Arboretum. See, I know they don't think. This is next week.
All right, so I have, like I said, I was busy, like, trying to put it together so we can have something tomorrow and not be like, I don't have it.
I
You know what I mean?
got you.
So I got that, so I'm gonna I'm gonna stop share and pull up the document that we really need to be going over, because like you said, why do we need all of that? We do need all of that. It's just an exercise that we're taking ourselves through.
I like the fact that I think we stood firm. Yeah,
I could
I
have said
mean,
no. And every time he asked me, then I'm over here going like,
right. We had that together. So when he said, "So are the two of you gonna collaborate?" Yes, we this, that, and the other. So we were on it. We were on it.
yeah. I'm trying to think, well, let's see, the gala logo press releases. Where is that? I mean, and then he asked for, I don't know why he asked for, whose finger is in the pudding over there to continue asking me to do something, and then they go with what they got.
When I looked at the flyer this morning that was sent by Tyra, and she said, "Yes, I approve," or whatever she said. I said, "So I'm seeing clearly they're using her to push out information." But that's fine. That's fine. Uh, but see, all of this is still late. It's still on that background that we thought, we don't, but that's fine. If that's how they want to use her, fine. They want to use her, fine. So she put that out, and I looked at it and I said, okay, those would be the flyer people. Because you had mentioned, and you and I agreed to him, that the flyer should coincide with what the invitation looks like. But
Yeah,
okay.
we talk about brand. So we talk about branding, and that's the deal. You know what I mean? When you're are trying to brand something, and then you got all these different. So the branding that they're having for the general public is that. What we put together was basically the you know what I mean. What we put together were for people that we consider VIP. That we want, So I found
Right.
a document. Let me load this up so we can go through this, and then I can share with you the conversation I had with the caterer this morning. See, and he doesn't, all they do, he's round the corner from me, not too far from 49, so 2 blocks over. So I went through his menu, told him we were having a meeting, and then I'll get back with him to see. We could have several different types of things. What's going to work best? I told him that we had Panero. We also looked at the price points on Mariano's, and then we also looked at the price points on honey baked ham place like that, and then looked at his because you know ordering sandwiches, there can be some hors d'oeuvres on the table, coming down that way on trays. I picked up some cute trays yesterday that are dinnerware kind of service set, where you might have 10. I know I told him of how you felt about the pin rolls. You know what I mean? Because I looked at, I said, it can be dry and boring
Wait a minute. That's so every day. I would have said, "Oh my God, Tara's been here." No, for this.
Where are we at? Where are we at on this report thing, or we jump to something else?
No, we didn't jump to anything else. Now I'm looking at what you have here posted, task and pre-event. So,
Okay, great. So now this part right here is all the things that I do, pre-event. You know what I mean? And we assign things to people and the dates, then they need to check off the dates they did it so that people can be accountable. But and I'll go all the way down to where this is This is the gallery owner sets the calendar. We got the event, we got the contracts, we got every insurance, we got all that done. And we're looking at the proof of food handler's license. That's why I'm going
Mhm.
around and around about the licensing thing. Then I go through a walkthrough. That's what we're doing right now. And we're putting a floor plan together. That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
We're checking the prep kitchen and main gallery. This is all the stuff that I do with event planning and, you know, the little clean up the bucket, what you go do with the paper towels, you know, just the little things that you, like we were going over, that you would think someone didn't need to be step prompt to do. But if we're using and staging over there in the senior building, these are things they need to figure out to do as they do that assignment over there in that prep chair. We got to have
Right.
bleach bottles. You know, I don't know if they have a refrigerator, but we're taking freezer boxes over there and
Yeah, yeah, because their refrigerator, I couldn't.
check with the janitor about the mop. I mean, those are things that would be for like over there in the prep area, but not necessarily over there in Oakland. And a place for cleaning spills, but we shouldn't have spills and all that going on, but just in case things happen, you know, it's all kind of written out.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so furniture, when it's gonna be delivered, who's gonna deliver it, that's where we gotta, you know, check mark Public Works. I'm gonna go over this thing with them tomorrow. Um,
Oh, please,
if
please.
used in highboy chairs and tables, remove them from storage, must be returned. We already know that part, so Mr. Lewis's name will go right here. You know,
Okay.
event organizers bring their own setup crew and cleanup crew. That means that your people, a setup and a cleanup crew, who's going to be volunteering on that thing. They have prepaid for gallery will call staff. That's when we hire more people to come down and help, you know, and they make the organizers prepay it, but we're getting the committee to do that kind of stuff. If furniture is delivered the day before, it must be stored neatly over in the senior room so we could just walk it over. Or Public Works, I don't know where their
It's gonna
public
need to be somewhere where it's, well, if Lewis is in
in
control of
charge of
the
that.
tables, yeah, then he will be responsible for those tables,
And
whether
so
he
I'll put
wants
his
them up.
name on the hard
Mm-hmm,
copy. I'll write his name in and then add this, you know, for a final printout for we can give it to
mm-hmm,
everybody the day of. Open doors
mm-hmm.
for catering and wait staff, have them load in from the back. And all this stuff has to be happened by 10 o'clock. That's why I'm like, we can't be loading and hauling and carrying on because that
Mm-hmm.
hour goes really fast. There is no prep in the area off from the alley, blah, blah, blah. Because people do roll
Yeah.
up and be out there doing
Mm-hmm.
stuff and by the garbage and no, get over here. You know, this is an area, you know, city codes, they should not block the street or park in driveways. This is important for Hazel Crest because of the fact that we're right across the street and people do have a tendency to park in driveways and block folks.
Well, now I do think, speaking about Parkway, and if we did get the response from the flyers that we were looking for, or hoping for, we will have to block off portions of homes. We would probably have to block off certainly the area coming from the parking lot to a certain yardage from Christine's installation, meaning not before but after, depending on how high traffic the area gets.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So,
that police station,
you said
although
the
there
police
is,
station, what?
because the police station, has limited parking, although there is parking in the back where
Right.
you park that night. Okay, so I think we should have signage. I'm gonna leave that to Public Works. Parking with an arrow pointing that way.
I'm just filling it in my, I have a
And
sheet
it
in
would
front of
be
me.
nice if, when I'm thinking about that, if that's something that Greg could do, help with
Okay.
traffic flow.
So I put his name over here on that line item. Set garbage cans with trash bags near the La bar, the catering area, and near exit areas in view for patrons. Trash must be removed before overflow. Catering staff and event planners are responsible for trash removals. All extra catering containers must be under tables or in the back area. Our clients must always maintain the integrity of the gallery. Boxes must be broken down before being discarded in the trash bins by catering, bartender, DJ. They are not to load equipment using the front entryway. So they would have to get there and figure that out. And I'm gonna leave that DJ thing to Mr. Sawyer.
Mhm. I have a feeling he's subject to squash it.
At $500, and who's gonna pay?
Mm-hmm. I
DJs
think
must
he,
have their own equipment, not to plug in gallery, turn off. So they gotta, I'm gonna put Mr. Sawyer on that.
mm-hmm.
If the event is in the garden, check the mic to see if it is turned off so sound isn't heard outside. So yeah, that DJ is gonna be disturbing the peace of the neighborhood, but just for that
Yeah.
minute.
And I'm just trying to figure out where he would settle in the time frame with what we're doing all
I
of
think
this.
in the beginning up there, set up his booth and everything in front of the podium. That's why I put that podium right there for the speakers, because they would have to use his microphone to talk through. Anyway, anywho,
Somebody had a microphone. I think it was from the Veterans Commission.
mm,
I don't know, but okay.
so this
So
is
we'll.
right. Yeah, this right here is not applicable because we're not doing audiovisual equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just on here because, close to the public sign on the entrance door, clear the exhibit area. So all of these things are really how I go through and what I set in motion for anyone that came in under me.
Mm-hmm.
And also the client had a list of stuff, that we do getting ready. Why,
Okay.
things that we just do because we're planners, but some
Mm-hmm.
things have to be broken down because
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, bar manager, this is their stuff, that they got to deal with. And what we're asking them to do is, stock the bar, cups, mixers. They need to get their system, set up the cash bar. We always, because we're nonprofit, we deal with tips. She'll probably put a tip jar there, but there's not going to be because then that means that you're going to have nobody out there has a permit. Just,
Watch it.
you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
to sell liquor, less alone, barely trying to get out there to have the alcohol in the thing like that. Return their empty wine and alcohol.
Probably could.
uh,
So for the wines, are we or wines for the alcohol? It will be paper cups? Well, I shouldn't say cups. What will it
But I
be?
mean, she used for when she did the fish fry here, she used to-go cups, meaning they had a lid on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that way they could walk away with those, so she could, everything is like where we talked about making sure that we're sealed. But she has these
Mm-hmm.
to-go cups where they come and, she'll have the top and they can take them. So
And they can
anyway,
sip from that cup
yeah.
versus getting in their cars with open. Again, we have flyer people, so I'm not sure. And then
Mm.
that's the thing too, looking at uh, they'll have to pull out for the alcohol, their
Right here it says,
licensing.
that's why I was going back to the changes of who is the caterer and can she come, do they have bartenders that come under their licensing? And then the call that I made to the all these A's, Andre, I think he said his name, he was like, no, they don't have it. And this is the one that Jasmine referred me to, and we're gonna take a look at their menu. We looked at it a little bit yesterday. Um, because I asked, we hadn't talked about the dessert menu. We were already dealing with so whatever, and looking at the water, looking at the fruit trays. And I told them we would like kebabs and just kind of getting it together of ordering from a Black owned company. too, is my thought, supporting Black business. Um, but we'll look at his price points and his menu and stuff like that. But we definitely, if asked the question, we would have been prepared to have, someone with their licensing to bartend at an event. This is all like detailed stuff. During the event, these are things that you can probably make sure that removal of trash is very important to me. It keeps the integrity of the place. Instead of people throwing their bottles down, trash down, we just want to make sure that we're maintaining the open land and no panhandling or hanging out in front of the gallery on the sidewalk. Um, I witnessed panhandling out there, after the Mandela Bill. I felt,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
trapped because I was by myself and, I didn't like that. That dude came back, to hustle
Mhm.
me,
Reported
for
him.
some
We
money.
did report him. Carl knew
And we
who he
don't want,
was.
yes.
And I let Carl know. I said, well, Carl, this incident happened out here. And he said, well, I'll talk to officer whoever. So, and the thing about that was when he had accosted me about a job and so forth, when I was out there with a planter, I went to Tyra because she has information of residences and so forth. And I said, would you look up this guy's name, which she did. And we found out that he has been jumping around from state to state and place to place within a year's time. And I think he even had a record, maybe misdemeanor or whatever. So that was all the more reason that he needed to be stopped. And Carl, I don't know what his purpose was, trying to be kind, but no, this guy is not to be left on his own.
Okay.
So we did handle that. I just wanted to
Yeah.
let you know, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, but yeah.
No, I mean, that's fine because that's a real thing. I'm dealing with a real thing like that on 47th Street, in the last 10 years of how people, hit up our clients, and stuff
Mm-hmm.
on the way to their
Mm-hmm.
cars and all that. And as the
Mm-hmm.
event manager, got to be on top of, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we have security and then the security has to be told, stay on top of it when people are walking to their cars,
Mm-hmm.
nothing
Absolutely.
happens because that falls back on the venue. Make sure food handlers are following protocol. Make sure we're going to bring plastic gloves out there when serving. No use of cell phones, hair pulled back,
Mm-hmm.
appropriate
Mm-hmm.
attire. Sometimes they're wearing them long weaves and stuff, and they're all over the food. No, got it. Tie it
Please.
back. Bar manager. That whole thing would be on our on JD events. To orchestrate that. There's no cash bar, but she can do tips. So she can have a tip jar, but don't charge people. Refresh ice.
Okay.
That ice thing is gonna come tomorrow.
Oh, you did order. I was
I
thinking
did.
about that. Okay.
I
And
ordered it.
did you order those tray covers as well?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
I'm
We'll go down
excited
that
to
list.
see how all this
Um,
is going to turn out.
Make sure they are not over pouring. That's the thing with some of the events. They want more drink. You know what I mean? Not over pouring for the guest. No pours after the last call. No self pours because they need to be packed up and out of there. So we're gonna say they need to stop at 1:45 if the event's over at 2.
So then, what type of alcohol beverage would they normally have since this is
I
a,
don't know.
a
A
beer and
mixology,
wine event? Okay.
nothing like that. She's gonna just have mixed drinks. She's a
Okay.
mixologist, so she'll have those different types of mixed drinks, and then those
Okay.
decanters that are there. It won't be like a full bar service
Right. And
with
would
beer
we,
and alcohol, alcohol, none of that kind of stuff. She's just
so then,
created some, just beverage
so
for
then would we need to really have, because we can bring some patrol people there, I'm sure. but if, since that's the case with the alcohol, I would like to have someone there to really, well, you could tell a 90-year-old man is 90 years old, they're over 21. But what about those that come with the
ID.
with the free flyer? What we do in terms of them
Then
wanting
she
to
needed an
get.
ID. She worked at a bar and bar service in Miami while she was going to school. You ask them for ID. They can't just walk up and get no drink now.
Yeah, so I'm just
So,
thinking, so someone would need to be near her. Some patrol would need to be near her in the event that we have some underage potential drinkers. That may not be an issue. I don't know. I just know that there was a free flyer that's circulating and it does have on there. I think it has. And does it have cocktails? I'd have to look. Maybe it
no,
does.
they can't advertise. They have cocktails at a village event, so they took it off.
Okay. Okay. So they did take it off. Okay.
But on the RSVP things, I didn't take it off. I left it on.
Mm-hmm.
Wipe down all wet surfaces, walk through before the bar staff departs, making sure they've got everything, so during the event, all that, we're gonna move a little faster. These are the, check the third, well, none of that, we'll put not applicable because I'm using what I already have in place. Now,
Mm-hmm.
these are things that
Mm-hmm.
I put together for Hazel Crest because these are essential functions. And these are the notes from our meeting that we had. And it's
Okay.
for be responsible for every event-related maintenance of the event, takes on other duties as needed, and works collaboratively in a team. This is your open land people, ability to walk and stand during an event for those that are volunteering. So the press kit I did, the village manager, he got the agenda and run a show, contact DJ up, set up sound system, GD power source, if generator, podium from the village at the beginning of the trail for press and speakers. So that's what that little tent is for, like that. And so RSVP draft submitted, I did that. And this is our marketing plan to get stuff out now that everything's been approved. And then
Okay.
mapping the floor plan, that's what we're doing right now with the high boys, the 4x6 tables, and set up the near the artist, public works to spray mosquitoes, location for musicians, the Trio Cove near Sculpture is what we talked about, and the Trio Cove near Peter is what we talked about. So that's who we're responsible for setting that area up. Printing, that's the village, print out name tags, RSV trustees, print out name tags for commissioners. I think that's the village stuff to do. And under the host committee is you, decor, installation, working with youth, Christina Peter Sculpture, that's Williams as coordinator. And we'll have to put down these times and dates over here. The signage, print welcome signage, order a plaque for sculptures and 2 village Hazel Crest seals. I haven't did the welcome signage because you said don't even bother with that because y'all got your own signs.
We have signage, which
Okay.
reminds me, I need to get that from Carl to clean it up if I can.
So the wayfinding balloons for the entrance, hanging banner, that was you and Carl. Place metal vintage lunch pails. I'm still on that on the hospitality table for the VIP RSVP.
So how would we do that? We would just have I'm just remembering when you mentioned about the pails, they would take the pails to the various tables. Tent.
No, those 10 pails as novelty gifts on tables with cookies and dessert. I
Okay.
picked up only like, I think I got 10 of them, maybe 12 of them yesterday. I got them at a good
Okay.
price. But
Okay.
just novelty on the table, cookies and desserts.
Okay.
Old Granny 10, thank you.
Okay.
Those are gonna go for the lunch boxes. I've only
Okay.
ordered like 12 of them. And then the
Okay.
metal 2-tier trays to add the small tin and pill. So if we know anybody that has the 10, like the 2-tier serving set that you put on the table, and it's 2-tier. Small
Mm-hmm.
tin, and then the bottom larger, so we can stage stuff like that. Anyway, those are things over here that I need to deal with. That says me. Agenda and run of the show, Mr. Sawyer. Okay, here we're down at the setup, ordering from Amazon. 9 high boy tables, spandex tablecloths, 5 high boys. Oh, I have 5 already, and I ordered 4 more. And
Okay.
then I ordered 8 white tablecloths, the food covers, the fly fans, insulated takeaway bags, the wooden cutlery, pre-rolled napkins, and those will go in, our specialty. There's only 30 of those. We need wicker baskets and wooden trays. Need bamboo plates and service saucers. So I'll cross that out as soon as I get them. I ordered the trash bags, 400 appetizer forks. I ordered the outdoor ice cooler with the skirt. It's already ordered. A table decor that is going to be on bill. Hand washing sanitation station. You said set up a
It's me.
small water station.
Okay.
Hand washing, so you can assign it to somebody. I just put your name right there to assign. So hospitality tent, sign-in sheets, name tags, and lunch choice. So that's all that a kind of summary of our meeting. And then here is the what we broke down cost, crudité tray with dip, and how much that serves people. And then we said the coffee to go, and then this is that lunch menu. So then we need to add the honey one because we went through all of these things to look at Paneros, but then we changed our minds, or we're looking at another alternative. So anything you want to add to that, we can add to that, but I think I was, pretty thorough. I tried to be
I
pretty
think it
thorough.
is pretty thorough.
We
Mm-hmm.
don't have to go over the first part. We can just go over the essential functions for where I have Hazel Crest, which is the client, like that. All the other stuff is the housekeeping, back of the door, back staging area that we need to think about as we're setting up and giving people things to do before 11, of what needs to be done. Because, we both are ticky about putting stuff, together. So over here to, let me look for that email just a minute. But I did get a call from him, and he said no, that he didn't, he doesn't have, he just has what he can do. That's it. He can't, he doesn't deal with the liquor thing.
Okay.
I
Okay.
will probably go through and take the exam, and renew my license, on the whole thing. If before push comes to shove. So this is really,
Okay.
this is, I had him, sending me, we looked at his menu last night, and we talked about it last night. Just another, added, I thought these were just the cutest things. Here, you've seen these, at different events. This is banana pudding.
So you're adding on, are you, Alpha?
No, I'm looking at the dessert. I can't have none of this, but I'm looking at, when I looked at his menu, I thought, oh, this would be cute because all we had was cookies, you know what I mean? And then looking at these, but he would have the top on them, for a single service instead of
And then
cinnamon.
I know we had talked about that, and that they would need to be kept kind of cool instead of
Yeah,
out.
we talked through all of that. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about how they're picked up and put in one of those containers, where they're insulated, for
Okay.
cold,
Okay.
and it wouldn't hurt to put them on ice. And this
Okay.
would be delivered, picked up in the morning. Since they're right around the corner from me, picked up, and I just bring with, you know what I mean? So they're not sitting out
So
anywhere.
let me ask, so the ice,
Mm.
the remove the wheeled ice tray that sits about 4 feet high you mentioned. Did you get the one with the double shelving?
I'm gonna show you what I got so we can be
Okay.
clear. But anyway, this right here, we won't have the pretty. It'll just be in the jar.
In a jar. Uh-huh.
And that's another takeaway. You know what I mean? That we only are looking at 12 to the trustees, our VIP
Yeah.
people is
Yeah.
what I'm looking at. Because we want another
Okay.
grant. Look, we want another grant from them. So I
Oh,
ain't playing with around
look.
with you know,
I know that's right. I was just
you
thinking
know
it
what I
was one of
mean?
the trustees that had gotten back with me. And she said, well, I'm coming. And I said, I had to think nicely. I didn't want to say, well, who are you? I said, oh, could you spell your full name? When she did. This is a trustee that supports us. She was our
Mhm.
liaison before this last one was. And she also gave us a monetary uh, contribution. So I definitely, and she was the one that spoke out when you all had given the presentation, and she said she knew open lands and all that type of stuff.
I
So
remember her and said,
I'm
"This an
glad.
arboretum." This,
Hmm.
oh,
So
I
I'm
remember
glad she
that.
spoke out. I'm gonna make sure she gets something. Her name is Sandra Slayton, uh, and I think she's the only one other than Camilla that I know of the board
Mhm.
that would be coming. I know there are more. In fact, what I will do,
Can you see this picture right here?
oh, let me look. Oh, those. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, and I told her that sometimes they're like boring, and he says what he does is he puts his in the burrito shell, and in which are larger, and not the regular wrap that you buy that could be like the spinach or the carrot or like the red or the green ones. He uses the regular burrito, flour burrito, and it's a larger bite for that. But anyway, that's a
So then
pinwheel
that's
tray.
a pinwheel. You're right.
Mhm.
So now this is a potential.
Yeah, I didn't commit. I told him that we have a meeting today, and
Okay.
looking
And
at
that's what he was kind of showing you,
mhm.
what he would display.
Right, because I told them that we're looking at only bites, and what they sent us was here's this menu right here.
Okay.
And I said,
Okay.
none of this really worked for us, especially the fruit tray would work for us to get two medium ones. And I told them that we were looking at having them on skewers so they could be kebabs and not, where people are individually picking up the fruit and stuff. And
Right.
we looked
Right.
at the fruit trays for Mariano's is what we priced the fruit trays at.
Okay.
Over at Mariano's, and that price for the fruit trays, and this one right here feeds that many people because I told them we're only prepping for 50 people. But where is it? The fruit tray was $40 for 20 to 24 people.
And that was at Mariano's.
Hmm.
So
And the
again,
crudité tray was, for 24 people.
okay.
But so we're still looking at price comparisons because we're looking now at just bites. And also we're looking at the takeaway lunch, with the sandwich. And I told him we're looking at maybe half the sandwich, but he was saying they deliver them in these kind of trays. And I said, that's not going to do it for us because,
Yeah.
we need individually, everything has to be individually served. It can't be where we're
Yeah.
serving people. And they don't have servers or wait staff either. He's a chef, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he's been a personal chef for one of the ball players, or that kind of work, which
Yeah.
has allowed him to be able to open up this
Oh,
his
okay.
catering business like that. Mhm.
Okay.
So over here, I was looking at the hoagies, you know, and I told him that I like the way they're cut,
Yeah,
but
that adds a little more
mm-hmm,
to the aesthetics of the finger food.
mm-hmm. And then the pinwheels are like 30 pieces at 65. And we're doing price comparisons. I don't think we ran the crudité tray for, for 24 people. With the fruit tray is what I'm looking at on this thing right here. And I haven't added our the honey
Honey baked
baked.
ham.
I haven't added that. This is just our other conversation. And so for
Okay.
lunch, so you're thinking no for Panera, and they're at $10.99 each. And what we talked about the honey, let's finish this one first. So I told them that we're looking at finger food, ordering sandwiches to go, but here's these, and all the condiments would be to the side. That could be a couple of trays, that are on. I could see that being eaten up too fast, right? And then the pinwheels, having some of those on separate trays, not wrapped, but on the table.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with nobody's meatballs, sliders. He did say, I don't really want to deal with chicken, but he said that the Hennessy barbecue wings, I just feel like wings are problematic when you're at
They
some.
are. They are.
You can't give a white party and then you got people eating wings.
And then
Or,
what you'll have also by us being outdoors, you'll certainly encourage insects swarming around that sweet barbecue.
So, so
So
anyway, this is
yeah.
the menu. I don't know. I told him we let him know. He needs to know 40, at least by Friday, which way we're gonna go,
Okay. Yeah.
like
Which makes
that.
sense.
But
Okay.
I talked to him about that dessert menu, and the fruit
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And which is, palatable like that due to medium trays. That way we would have it for breakfast as well. You know what I mean?
And Dante seemed to have lit up when we mentioned about the breakfast. So he'll be out there for that. And I will work him.
I'm looking
Uh,
at this is desserts, but let's see here. We were looking at the breakfast. They had the breakfast menu up here too. Yeah, here's the breakfast menu. But we're not trying to order breakfast like that. I told him everything has to be individually wrapped. And because he's up the way, I could even give him because I'm going like, you have these cookies, and those cookies are like a dozen. There must be some good cookies. Because I ordered some tins that say thank you on the tins that would go into the VIP, you know, um, bags.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But this is their
Well,
breakfast stuff. We ain't trying, I said, we're not trying to do like, stuff that gotta be underneath sit up in those, with fire underneath them and all that kind of stuff. We don't trying to get into serving, having
mm-mm.
servers out there. We're not doing any of that. Everything has to be, to go kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
But this is their breakfast menu. And she said,
Okay.
why we even looking at, we only talk about having bagels and so we only talk about trying to have some bagels and coffee. We ain't trying to have all this kind of
You
food out
better believe it, because we never get nothing done.
here. So anyway, that's that kind of menu.
Okay, that he has.
Thinking about ordering the specialty. I can't have any of it, but I was thinking that would be nice to have it, as part of their takeaway stuff. Let me
Okay.
find the menu. Um, oh, I know. You said the honey.
Honey baked ham is the name of it. And honestly, when it comes to taste, as I said, I know that their food is not processed. The meats are not processed. and I thought the pricing was fair. I think I'll
Mhm.
wander over there this week, as a matter of fact, as a, as an example of taste. But this is what I'll say, Alpha.
Mhm.
This is a lot. Whatever you mainly decide, I'll go along with.
No, we can do both. I mean, I mean, I was thinking of the other things that'll be like, trays, yeah, like that. But we can run it by our meeting people tomorrow, so we can have options that we did our due diligence and looked at different catering situations. You know what I
Now,
mean?
also, what came to mind to me also was if, for example, we did have an open tray menu. Uh, you do have those covers. The food can be sealed, and I have seen where the servers wore gloves and they removed the the food item from under, let's say, the plastic wrap and gave it to the person without having to expose the food wide open and without
Mm-hmm.
having to uh, put their hands on it themselves. They had the gloves or the tongs even to do that. I've seen that lately, particularly with COVID.
Right.
So I I think it could be done. I don't think that 100% of the people out there would necessarily be as adamant about being served any other way, but I do feel that it is an appropriate way to serve open food if we're going to have that.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We're just taking precautions because we are
We're
coming out of
taking
that, you
precautions.
know,
We're showing
catering.
class and tact.
Yeah. So here we are on their page
Okay.
and catering. I'm trying to see where place catering order. So here we go with the box. Um, um, that's what you get. But box right here. So we're looking at the croissant. They're $12.49 a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Choice of signature sandwich served with deep river kettle chips and a cookie.
And again, he said if we didn't go with the box, which I'm sure we would not necessarily need,
Mm-hmm.
we would they have, they cut the sandwiches in half. He said, because it's for better packing and packaging. And I said, does chips come with it? So if we ordered 25, if we ordered 50, 50 would give us 100 halves. If we ordered 25, we would get 50 halves. And that would probably come with the 25 bags of chips, I'm assuming.
So we're looking at turkey and chicken.
Oh,
That's
do they
chicken
have?
salad. I'm looking at
Yes,
what they have right here, and they have the ham. A lot of people don't eat pork.
right.
So I kind of skipped over that. And then I'm looking at smoked turkey classic, and
Let's
then
see.
roasted turkey classic. And then you got chicken salad sandwich. And
Yeah,
then you
that
got the
chicken
California
salad.
veggie.
Yeah. I just had asked about the vegetarian. He said it was a California veggie. I asked about, well, I asked about all of the sandwiches which he named. And when it came to chicken salad, I asked him what was that made of. He said, of course, the chicken with the cranberries and the celery. And I said, oh, that was something that you and I was kind of swooning over when we were looking at
Mm-hmm.
the Paneras. menu. So I asked, I said, so what sandwiches would cost more than the others? From what he explained to me was that the turkey, probably the roasted turkey classic, the chicken roasted, the chicken salad, and the California vegetable all fell within the same range. Some of
Mhm.
the other ones probably would be a tad spicier. I mean,
Well, the ones pricier, yeah, the ones that they have for the signature sandwiches, these are the ones. So, the chicken salad sandwich, if it's with mayo, that's problematic. I know he said the hoagies that he's making are, have mayo, you know, on them,
yeah,
but
they have the packages of mayo and they have a nice mustard something that really was tasty, but that's all on the side. They don't put any condiments on the sandwiches. But you're right, with the chicken salad, I'm assuming, yeah, that's done with some form of mayo in it.
all right, so I'll let you, like you said, this would be, I guess you gotta do one or the other, you can't do. So if you
Well,
did
what
smoke,
we can do on that is we can make another call. I spoke with Ebel. What we could do is make another call because I like the fact that we did not have to do this a week and two out. He said, "Oh, all we would need is 2 days, maybe 3 days." I said, "Well, that sounds good." So if at some point you and I want to have that conversation, if we should go that route, we could have it with him or someone from Honey Baked Ham. And as Mr. Sawyer asked, he, he asked if you done? He asked what was the cost for delivery. I didn't even go into delivery cost because I
well, for
just didn't. Uh,
25 sandwiches is $312.25. That's not with the taxes and everything, because I just added it up. And that was with just, let me go back, because if we're doing half and half, we should go
you want
back
to eat
just for 10
something?
sandwiches or 12. 12 chicken salad sandwiches is $149. So I think if we just do 2 dozen here, like keep it like 25, but keep it with the, you know, 2 dozen, with the whole number and not the half number, that it would be 24 sandwiches. And this
Okay.
is just what I did is I checked off the chicken salad, but I'll go back to the smoked turkey or roasted turkey. Which is your preference?
Uh, I think when it comes to the two, smoked turkey, you know what? I don't know. Smoked turkey normally has, oh yeah, more sodium in it than the other, if anybody is looking at that.
Okay, so
Um,
roasted turkey.
yeah, might be the best route to go versus a smoked something.
So the roasted classic, and I'm only going to add the side is assorted chips, and the dessert is assorted cookie, and then that's $149.88. And then I'm gonna go back and so we ordered 12, and you cut them in half, then you got 24 sandwiches.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and add more, um, and go back and pick, instead of the roasted, I don't know, the chicken salad. I don't know how many people that eat ham. It's up to you which ones we should choose. You want to get 6 chicken salad sandwiches? And then 6 California veggie.
6 to 6.
Because not that many people would want maybe the chicken salad.
True.
So that's 74.94 for just 6, which will be actually 12 and half sandwiches.
Okay, so we're looking at what, just two?
No, I'm getting it. I'm gonna go back up and do the vegan, in case there's somebody that wants a vegan, California vegan, and that'll be 6 of those. Everything's the same on assorted chips, assorted cookies. Add to the cart. So, where are we with this? It's still gonna be a total of $312.25, right?
But is that the box that you're coming up with? Well, what I have.
You've got this box of signature turkey classic, $149.88. And then we got the other 6
Yeah,
with the chicken salad. And then we got 6 California veggie. California veggie. And then, so the total is $299.76.
I don't think that Mr. Sawyer would have a problem with that
Okay.
because when considering he was gonna pay $500 for the DJ, and we told him, and he seemed like he was definitely on board for the trio. He said, "I have to rethink this. Yeah, this is he'll be okay."
Okay. So I'm just gonna like print out stuff and save it so
Mm-hmm.
that we have the menu.
Mm-hmm.
And put it in the PDF so that we. I just think we're getting down to, having a variety of bites that are like different, folks, the challenge is what's inside the bag to go. And the other stuff is things that have been kind of sitting, in each of the stations. And then you can, like you said, get those apples and pears and seasonal stuff.
How are you? Great, great. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so glad God made sure we had an opportunity that y'all rewound on me so I can say hi because she's important to me.
Okay.